Hello, everyone. It's your man Spin Nation here in the cocktail lounge with my partner in crime, Riders Up. How are you, buddy?
I'm a little cold. I been going through some back pain, but let's see if we can get rid of all of that by just playing some horses tonight.
Love it. Loving. Feel better soon, my good man. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight here on the cocktail lounge as we head again to Turfway Park. And my partner just hit the try in the first race, so he's off to a good start with a 10-1 in the middle. And I saw a couple other people in the chat already had that, so good job if you had that, Bobby D. We got Kyle, Mike, Bobby D. We got everybody already ready to go. Love it. Seeing the chat. Love seeing you guys. And it's March Madness has started officially, Tim, and so it's going to be March Turfway Madness. We hope it's not that tonight, but exactly. But we are ready.
Yeah, who needs basketball when you got horses?
There's some people in blue down there that would, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just obviously joking. But I didn't watch any games today. Rested a little bit, did what I needed to do. But I've seen the results and a little surprised, that Louisville got spanked the way they did. But I did see your comment, and I actually I did pick Creighton in that game because I just think the ACC, like you said, was way down this year.
I did too. And BC, Boston College is my who. They were terrible. You know what I mean? And they almost beat North Carolina. They almost beat like 4 or 5 of the schools. They didn't even make the tournament, the ACC tournament. You know what I'm saying? And that's how bad the league was. Just top to bottom this year was just not good. Other than Duke. I mean, Duke's legit.
It was Duke and everybody else.
Yeah, and everybody else. Yeah, Duke's legit.
Obviously, being here in the Louisville area, a lot of people were talking about, how great their turnaround year was, and I don't want to minimize it too much because it was still a good turnaround.
Oh, it was still a very good turnaround year.
But you have to look at the facts, and the facts said that the ACC was way down this year.
Way down, exactly. Frank Payne in the house. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, Frank. Absolutely. Back at Keeneland. Less than 2 weeks until opening day now, almost. So we're doing good. But in the meantime, we are ready for some Turfway action here tonight. And the second race, which is a field of 7 with no scratches. Let me read the conditions here. 6 furlongs, allowance 50,000, purse 34,000 for fillies and mares 3 rows up, which have started for a claiming price of 50,000 or less. There we go. So this is an interesting field here, Tim. I'll kind of start out here for you. Mike Whitten said that Model A is tuned up. Excellent. We got Irene in the house. How are you, my friend? All right. Nice hit, Bobby D. Absolutely. Okay. Now, this race to me, Tim, when I looked at it, it looked like a clear to me, which means kind of like a 2-horse race. But I find it interesting that the 5 is 18-1 right now. If you get that 18-1, that's not a bad price. But the 8 and the 7 will not be swayed is just an interesting. I mean, here's a horse that was running against Abenot on the turf. I mean, won convincingly at Kentucky Downs. Saratoga ran against Tiz Purple and Strong State, who would both be like 1-10 in this field. So I just find it interesting that Brad's now, okay, we've run them twice on the dirt. We ran them on the turf, did great. Ran them on the turf, did okay. But now we're going to put them on the poly track, an allowance race. So maybe he's just trying to get the confidence back in this horse, and that this is a great spot to do so. But on talent, this horse just overlays this field. And I think especially with riding for Brad, that shows ultimate confidence to me. But that is definitely my number 1 pick. The number 2 pick was my buddy Brooks, who ran a very impressive mile won by 7, nights at 25-1. Don't know how the shortening up will do, but obviously ran against some competitive races at FanDuel at 6 furlongs, and but did stop when he got on the longer distance. Also, there's breaks in his thing, which always worries you. But I thought this horse would have a chance to at least get on the board out of Brody's cause, and is 1-for-1 on the synthetic. So at least that has him going there. And my third pick was the one Always Practical for Michael Maker and Cedillo. They're 15% together. I thought this horse, being out of Practical Joke, out of Always Right and Arch Baby, Preservationists love the synthetic, and so do Arch Baby. So I was 7-5-1, but I think the 7 is going to be awful hard to beat here.
Yeah, obviously there are a lot of questions there, because when you look at it on paper, the 7 looks head and shoulders above everybody else. You know, maiden special weight, started out in Saratoga, then goes to Kentucky Downs and races on the turf, wins by 6. And then they bring her back on the turf at Belmont in a grade 3 in the matron.
Yeah.
So obviously she was highly thought of, but on the turf, and I mean, she was only beaten by a length and a half, although 4. So that wasn't horrible. But then she goes on the shelf, and she's been off since October, and you start looking at all the works, and they've been working the horse lately on the turf again.
Yep.
So while I totally agree that this horse looks the part, I'm not sure they're here to win, Sean.
Yeah, no, that's yep.
That's my concern. Is I just look. Can the horse win? Yes. At even money on the morning line, and currently sitting at 3-5. If she wins, congratulations to everybody who cashes, because I won't be one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Because I just here's what I think. I think Brad is running her here first off a layoff, been off since October. She's been running on the turf, and I think she goes to Keeneland and races on the grass.
Yep. You think maybe this is more of a workout race, kind of a?
I do, and is she capable of beating these? Yes. You look at them and you look at this field, but even the speed figures aren't too much above everybody else. So in the last race she runs a 72 on the grass. Well, let's look at the one horse and the one you have to question as well. Mike Mager brings this one in here, and she hasn't run on the synthetic either. She's run 7 races all on the grass. She's been Kentucky circuit, then went to Fairgrounds and raced the winner in the Fairgrounds, broke her maiden down there in a maiden optional claimer, and then comes back in an optional claimer there at the Fairgrounds at a mile, and now cuts back to 6 furlongs again. And I think this horse is definitely going to enjoy the route to sprint move here.
Sure.
I like the inside position here a little bit in this race. It basically it is a horse that I'm going to include, but I'm going to throw one more at you that you didn't mention at a little bit of a price and kind of holding close to the morning line. When I'm looking at everybody else in here, Sean, and I throw out the 7 because I don't want to bet at those odds. I'm like, okay, who's kind of been racing this level? Who is not doing something crazy here? And I look at the 6 horse. Yeah, and this horse has run. She broke her maiden here in a maiden 50,000. Then she stepped right into this class, right?
Absolutely.
And you look at that line, and that wasn't horrible. She was beaten by Hair the Queen and finished a decent second, but at a mile. And I don't think this horse, wants the route. So we go sprint the route to sprint, which is an angle that I absolutely love.
Sure.
And I think that the cut back to sprint here for this one, I mean, she's 2 for 2 at Turfway with a first and a second, 2 for 2 in the money. Yeah. So I kind of like that angle here. And right now we're sitting at 9-1. So we'll watch the horses here as they come out and everything and figure out how we're going to approach. But below those, I see the 5. I'm questioning, why the 5 is so cold on the board here, 14-1 off of 4-1 morning line. But one that I like next before that one after my top picks is the 3. Joe Ramos for Kelsey Danner in here.
Yep.
This is one that she just broke her maiden last out in the $35,000 race at Gulfstream, and now they ship her up here to Turfway. So it's one that at least has a race on the synthetic, although it's a different surface. We know that this horse at least likes the synth, and here we find, now she finds herself in an allowance race. So it's stepping up first time against winners here, and it's definitely going to be in a little deeper. But you look at this field across the board, and nobody really stands out. You could make a case for several in here, which is why I think we got to take a look and figure out what we like here. So say hello to everybody here. Benny Betts joining us. Austin Thomas checking in. Rodney, what's up, Hot Rod?
Hey, buddy. We got the Thunder talking about how more horses are going down to Australia, including Justify and American Pharaoh, who did a stud thing. They split time between Keeneland and Australia. So, full court. Felicia making her Australian debut this weekend. Yeah, for sure. And Mikey Witten, our resident Turfway expert, has got a $20 bankroll. Is going 2 to place and show on the 3. Good luck, Mikey. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. And Irene is alive to the double with the 3 and the 5. Okay, Irene, bring it home. And we'll get into some Triple Crown stuff tonight, too, as we go along, which is fun.
Our first 100-point race this weekend, Sean.
Yes, very exciting.
This is where the cream starts rising to the top of the crop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And even a very big weekend at Turfway with the Jeff Ruby coming up.
And, that'll be one of our big preps this weekend, along with the Louisiana.
As well as in the Oaks, my friend Victor Carrasco on White Rocks for Delacour, who, if he hadn't been bothered with in the first race, she would be undefeated. So she'll be a fun one to watch as well. Why is the 5 so cold on the board? I'm doing win, play, show, and 5. Irene, that is great. If you like a horse, right? Exactly. Don't let the odds scare you sometimes. If you like a horse, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And you stay with it, That was my second pick. The horse is 1-for-1 on the synthetic. I mean, he's cutting back, but hey, he's done everything he's right so far and won by 7 lengths. So, so I wonder too why that horse is so high versus Morning Line.
Yeah, and for everybody tuning in, if you haven't really looked at the card or anything so far, we got race 2 coming up. Starting in race 4, we've got the late pick 5, and if you did not see the late pick 5 tonight, it has a $92,000 carryover.
Yeah, excellent. Well worth it. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sure. And if you did not see, I think last night the jackpot pick 6 was hit as well for a huge price. But it's funny, somebody got the pick 6, but we had the pick 5 as a carrier. And Irene, I think it was you talking about the 5 being cold. I'm looking at the 5 in the paddock right now, and actually she looks pretty good. And Sean said this, and we say this a lot in here. Being cold on the board doesn't bother me if I like a horse and the horse still looks good to me and nothing stands out as to why that's changed. Just makes it better for me if I really like the horse. I'm not going to let being cold on the board change my mind.
No.
I do like the way that 6 is standing calmly as well. Looks like it was chilly here today. Looks like it's chilly up at Turfway. Everybody's bundled up.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. Yeah. I heard you guys had some, even snow
John's
the other
coming
day.
out bundled up here.
Rodney, the four is out in race 4. Yes, the 8 will definitely be tough there for sure. But we'll get into that race in a little bit. But yes, that 8 will be very tough for sure. And definitely on paper, Austin. I mean, just on class, you would say he does is but just a lot of kind of red flags for a 3 to 5, but definitely who he runs this right his a race. This group could be, and tough. I wouldn't talk you out of using them.
Yeah, and the four in that race is a big loss because I had the 4 much the best in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
I do think it opens the race up a little bit, and to me, it becomes really hard to single.
Yeah,
But I think you can go too deep in there. I
yeah,
think 6. I think 6 and 8. It's
yeah,
become the plays
yeah.
after that.
I agree. I agree.
Just to answer Rodney's question, but I wouldn't want to single one of them. If you've got a strong feeling about one, you go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bobby's got 7-1 with the 4-6-2 and win on the 4 and the 3. Good luck, Bobby.
As a matter of fact, I'm just double checking all my picks again, and I don't think personally there's a single in the pick 5 sequence.
Yeah, no, I
If
agree.
the single was the 4, they scratched out of the
Yeah,
the
I agree.
race.
I agree. Thank you to everybody joining us tonight.
And if that doesn't kind of tip my hand, Bobby, that means that there are a couple of horses there who might be favored, who I'm going to kind of play against a little bit. I didn't really have any standouts tonight other than that 4. That was my best bet, the big Walt in the 4th. And so with that one out, I think we got a chance at some good racing tonight.
Oh, no doubt. Is this the last night is that why there's only 8 races? There's a couple more. No, because Bobby, you got the big weekend coming up this weekend, which is Jeff Ruby Stakes. So there's like 13, 14 races. So to make sure that you had enough horses and all that stuff, you have to minimize your days before it so that you can optimize your weekend coming up.
Yeah, they wrote in a couple extra races on that Saturday card, which took away horses from throughout the week.
Yeah. Hey, Gene, 6 has the speed, and it lasts the 2, second, and first. Yeah. Kevin Phillips. Hey, Kevin, how are you, my friend? 7 might romp here, but his first time on the all-weather, but betting against her makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, that's my position as well, Kevin. I mean, I totally get the horse in here. She looks the part, but
yeah,
I'll tell you what. Every time I see this 6, and I really like the 6, looking at the past performances, I think she looks stellar in the paddock.
Yeah. Looks fantastic. I was noticing the same thing. Yeah, definitely people bundled up down there, huh? So you guys have had a real cold one, huh?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's more the turnaround of temperatures than anything else, Sean.
Yeah.
But it seems like, I mean, it's low 40s. It's windy, so it feels like it's in the 30s, but which isn't super cold, but it's been like in the 70s. So when you get that 30, 40 degree turnaround, it just feels colder.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Has the snow kind of stopped, or is it?
Yeah, hopefully we're done with that white stuff.
Oh, good. There you go. Four looks good in the paddock. 7 looks good. 3 looks good for the people who like the 3. All the horses on their toes, maybe because it's cold, but but they're all looking good though. Gene, Tim knows what he is talking about on the 6. Yep, absolutely, Gene.
I have no clue.
There's always a first for everything, Gene.
Exactly. Seems like the signal of the Turfway. Mine keeps buffering a little bit. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. You mean the feed for Turfway?
Yeah, the Turfway
Yeah,
feed.
yeah. Maybe the wind. Maybe the wind.
Yeah.
Maybe the wind too. That yeah, yeah. Exactly. So there's lots to be said. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for how a horse looks. This past weekend, I was all over Omaha. And then when the horses trotted out, I saw American Promise and I said, "Win place." There you go, JG. Yeah, that can be a big, two of the best handicappers in the nation. If you ever watch FanDuel,
I will guess one of them, Sean.
yeah, go ahead.
Maggie Wolfendale.
She's very good. Yep. She's excellent. Yep.
She's really good at paddock picks, and that's a big part of the paddock pick. Now, obviously, she's looking at everything else, but she'll look at the standouts in the paddock and often pick horses at a price that do very well. But she's a great handicapper based on looks and appearance.
Sure, yeah. Even people like Kate and Bradar and Sarge, Nick Hines. And Nick Hines is not only just a handicapper, he's a bloodstock agent. So he knows horses better than he can pick out a horse and say, I'm not liking that horse out there the way he's looking right now, or hey, this guy's a long shot, but he's looking awful good in the paddock,
Sean, you want to address this one for the 1,000th?
Yeah, I know. If I got $1 for every time, Sean Nolan is another amazing handicapper. Sean Nolan, number 2, I should say, is an excellent handicapper. Yeah, and if you ever see me in a contest, it's Sean Patrick Nolan, and I got more messages saying, "You're in the top 10. You're in the top 10, but I never see you on the screen." I'm like, well, that's because I'm in Boston and I'm not in the thing yet. But he's a very, very talented handicapper indeed, and he has the best name in the business. So why wouldn't he be up in the top 10? But if you ever see me in a contest, it is Sean Patrick Nolan. It would not be Sean Nolan, but that he has been a perennial player in the NHE, and he's very good.
Yeah, Gene, just to let you know, we always come on, typically every now and then we'll get on for race 1, but we typically plan to come on the air at 6 o'clock, which means we usually miss the first. But a lot of times we are not live yet, but we're on in the background getting everything set up. And as we came on, the first race was just going off. And I did have the trifecta in there. I mean, my top 4 were the top 4, but it was only a 6-horse race. And it wasn't a huge payout, about 92 for $2, I think, which is what it was for me. But yes,
not bad at all. Yep.
Kevin, there's actually nothing in the glass. No, it's if you're familiar with Country Boy Brewing here out of Lexington, Kentucky, it is their mocha porter. So pretty good. Just a nice, easy drinking coffee porter.
Country Jockeys are now coming onto their horses. Little delay there.
Yeah, Gene, and the only thing that made that pay, the other 3, the first place, third place, and fourth place horses were pretty chalky. Although I didn't think the horse I liked on top would be the favorite, which he ended up being. But got the 10-1 home second, the 3 horse in that race, and that really beat.
Yep. And as Kevin says, what has everybody else got in their glass tonight for the cocktail lounge? Let us know what you're having tonight.
I'll be doing a quick refill here shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you didn't hear that in the background, that was the Turfway Call to the Post. They were on the track for the second race at Turfway. There's always practical with Abe Cedillo up.
Yep.
Two
One looks good.
Bella Vittoria. Gabe Sayas.
Yeah.
There's the 3, Muchi's Revenge, Joe Ramos in the saddle.
Some of you may know this, but for those that don't, Gabe Sayas is the younger brother of Luis Sayas.
Brooklyn Condensed got Irving Moncada up. There's the 5, My Buddy Brooks, Julio Felix.
Julio Felix had a big week last week.
There's Sweet Bebsy, that 6 I like, Carlos Barbosa. 11-1, I like that price, Sean. And there's your favorite, 3-5, 7, Will Not Be Swayed with the Axeman, Lou Machado. Starting to really pick it up.
Irene's got Coca-Cola tonight. Kevin's got a Bud Light and an apple fritter. Love it. JG Funk's got 4 roses. I have my fruit punch tonight. There, my sparkling ice.
So in the jockey standings currently, we do have the Axeman on top now, kind of comfortably, and Moncada led for quite a while. But now Luan has 44 wins, and Moncada is a 9 back with 35. So those two have kind of distanced themselves. Joe Ramos is in third with 31, and then it's 10 more back to Gabe Corrales with 21.
Luan is getting closer to Kentucky to get to Keeneland, and he is riding. He's warming up. He's getting this. He's getting his stuff ready. Yep. Kyle's still rocking that Guinness Stout. Love it.
There's always room for a Guinness. Guinness is always a classic. Always good. It doesn't have to be St. Patrick's Day.
Right. Exactly.
It's close enough to where it still makes sense. But Guinness is always good in a glass. I always say, people are like, well, it's the summer, you don't drink stouts. I'm like, it is always stout season.
People in Boston only drink Guinness on days ending in Y. That is the rule up here, that we only drink Guinness on days ending in Y.
that sounds like a good rule.
Yeah. If you can't find a good beer in Boston, you got a real problem. Bobby D's drinking his usual cab. Love it. Kyle said agreed. Always stout season. We seem to be a little bit behind here, but we're making our way towards the gate. This was a card, Tim, overall. I thought there weren't singles, but I think there were definitely horses that were solid plays,
I agree.
Yeah, look at those trees blowing in the distance there, huh? Definitely some wind and some cold.
All right, Sean, are we ready to get this thing going?
Yes, we are, sir.
All right, we're going to start out in the exacta pool here for the second race. I'm gonna key that 6. I love the 6. Love the way the horse looks. We're 10-1, so we're going to play an exacta key box. The 6 with the 1-3-7.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Hopefully we can catch something here.
Yeah, get some nice value. Yeah. All the gate crew is definitely bundled up tonight.
For sure. We only got 7 races, so we'll spend 12 here in the first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like we say, our goal is always to get you guys from the first race to the last race, And
hopefully turn a profit in the end, or at least break even.
Absolutely.
Have a good night of fun and not lose any money. Not losing is winning, Sean.
Amen.
All right, we're loading up pretty quickly here.
There goes 3. There goes 6.
Just the 7 to load after that one. All loaded up, and there they go.
Here they go.
Even start slow. The 5 pulls out to the back of the field. The 3 horse is going to show the early speed. It's about a half length down to the inside of that one. And the 2, Bella Vittoria. Brooklyn Can Dance is sitting about 2 lengths back in third. The 1 horse comes up the rail into 4th position. The 7 is currently outside in 5th. The 6 is another length back, and 2 more all the way to the back. The 5 horse trails the field. Up front, they go to the quarter, 22.9 seconds.
Ooh, wow.
Moving a little bit. The 3, Moochie's Revenge, kind of puts a nose in front and starts to pull away from the 2 as that one starts to fade a little bit. The 7 and the 4 are moving as a pair, starting to move forward. The 6 is getting cranked up from the back, so let's get that one moving.
Come on, 6.
Get that one in the exacta.
Come on, 6. Get
Moochie's
cranked.
Revenge.
Yeah, get cranked, 6.
At that top of the stretch. 6 has got some good momentum. We got Moochie's Revenge 5 to 1. We need that 6 to
Come on, 6. Let's get going here. Let's get going. Here we go. Let's go.
Still in front. The 6 is coming late. Sweet Pepsi, but
look at this. Only winners in the lounge.
Revenge. What a start, folks.
What a start.
5 to 1 over 10 to 1.
Bingo.
We'll
take a bow, Tim. Take a bow. Tim's got some extra money for Keeneland. Sean's got some extra money for Keeneland. And hopefully you guys do too.
Yes.
Yeah, and JG Funk at the 6 across the board. That's gonna be a great pay.
Nothing wrong with that. He did get bet down to 8 to 1, but we got 5 to 1 over 8 to 1 there, folks. So I mean, nothing wrong with that at all.
Amen.
In fact, the probables, the 3 over the 6 was giving us $43 to 1, and we got it for 2.
Yeah.
Boom, Sean.
Boom.
And the crowd goes boom.
Boom. Thank you, James. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Bobby D. Yeah, thank you, Austin. Yeah, I agree, Tim. If you come up to Boston here, the Trillium and the Treehouse, Tim, would be 2 of your favorite.
I know both of those breweries very well, and you know it's definitely when I get up that way, those are definitely 2 breweries that are on my bucket list that I have not made it to yet.
But they're excellent. Yep,
not
world renowned.
Yes, I know beers like Julius very well.
Excellent. Yeah, Mike said I just need to stick with place and show. Love it. Yep, good job. Good job, Mike. But Mike had the 3, right? Yeah,
look at the try, Sean. The 5 at 17 to 1 sneaks into the try. Look at this try. So 5 to 1 over 8 to 1 over 17 to 1,
and that helps JG with his cross bet too.
Yes, and because the 7 at 3 to 5 is off the board.
Off the board.
What we talked about, and this is why we said it's a play against for me at that price. Horse definitely looked to be the class on paper. There was nothing, but it just wasn't a fit for me. And I
no, exactly. Yeah, no, that I agree.
Unless it made sense to me, Sean, and I was like, you know what? We'll include the horse on our exacta just in case, because we had a horse that we liked at a price underneath. If I was leaving one more horse off and playing against, actually I was going to drop the 7 and play the 5. And you know, we always say you're all geniuses after the race, but the 7 just didn't compute for me.
Yeah. And that's why I said to you but the 5 was my second choice. I'm like, well, okay, I don't know why they're betting them, but you know.
Yeah, and that's why we told Irene, don't worry about that 5 being cold on the board.
Yeah, 17 to 1, Irene. I hope you bet across, because that's gonna be a nice from the 3 to 5 out. Love it. Starting out hot
start for us, so Sean.
Yes, sir. Some extra money for Keeneland. Love it.
I would like it. It's official.
What, $86 about?
$2 exact. That 86.24, Sean.
We'll take that. That's how you start out a night. Fantastic, Mr. Tim. The March Madness starting in a good way. Love it. Love it. Love it. And now we move on.
Look at that Velcro. Started with 100. We have 174.24.
Love it. Love it. Making a winning night here in the lounge. And we go right. Great.
And that try, that was a nice try. If
that was
added that in 292 for 50 cents. So
that was great. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Almost a $1,200 try.
And let's see what JG, my man. Let's see, 826 and 474. Great job. And Irene, if you bet that 5 across, 850. Nice pays with the
getting that 7 off the board. All the payouts are really nice. Even the show pool. Look at the show pool money because it's 7.
Nice job, everybody. Great way to start the night.
Sean, I'm gonna get a quick refill up
here. Absolutely. Yep. Great job, everybody. That's how we like to start. Okay, 2 to win. Oh, okay, look at that. All right, there you go. Even better, Irene. Nice. So you got the best pay. You got the biggest pay with the biggest number. And 10 to show, Irene, is 850. So that's almost like a 3-to-1 win bet. That's really good. So you definitely did it the right way in your place pay, but you got the highest amount and the best return. So very nice. Yeah, awesome, Irene. Yeah, I don't know why. That was my second pick, and I don't know why, considering he had won 7 lengths. Very impressively. But that's why, as I said, if you like a horse, don't let the people dictate what you're doing. If you like it, bet that horse across with conviction and go with it. Absolutely. Uncle Sully, how on earth did Georgia make the NCAA tournament? Whoops, transitioning to horses now. Well, here's my thing, Sully, and I'll say this, right? I did say this even on the show a couple of weeks ago to Tim, is that the SEC is extremely talented. Obviously, they have 14 teams in, which is ridiculous, but they're all good. I mean, but I will say this, and I did say this, a lot of them played each other constantly. So I don't know how much they're going to have left in the tank when they keep playing each other like they're, every game sometimes in that conference can be like a playoff, setting. When you agree, Tim? Like when the Alabama's,
you're absolutely right, and it was just brutal. It was brutal because week after week, it didn't matter who you played. All the teams were good. You look at everybody's record going into SEC play and how well the teams did in non-conference play against the rest of the country, but then they had to beat each other up. I mean, you look at all the teams right now, and you've got Auburn and Florida both as number 1 seeds. You got Tennessee as a number 2 seed. You got a good Kentucky team. You got even teams like Vanderbilt were much improved. Georgia beat a couple of the good teams, and Missouri beat a couple of the good teams. It was just week in and week out, you had to go to war, and it definitely took a toll on some of these teams. So there are going to be the haters that are going to talk about some of these teams losing in the first round and talk about how the SEC did not deserve to get in so many. I don't agree with that. Are some of them going to lose? Yes, they are. But based on their body of work and what they did, they deserve to be in there.
Yeah,
my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Rodney says, Ronnie said, can't wait for the Louisiana Derby. Caldera, my pick. Multi-wager ticket, Caldera, chunk of gold. That's my boy, preservationist. And Vassimo, John Hancock is a complete fade. Yeah, well, he could be. And the fact that he waited for one race, Gene says St. John's, everybody's favorite in Kentucky, Rick Pitino. will be the champs. They've been
I'll
very good.
tell you, St. John's is playing some of the best basketball in
They
the
are.
country going
Yeah,
into the tournament.
and like him, love him, whatever. Rick Pitino knows how to coach.
No,
So
he's one of the best coaches in the history of the game.
Yep. So exactly. So
No doubt about it.
to ever doubt him in his coaching abilities is a whether you like him or not is just a
So
Jenny Mack says
Sean,
Houston
Kevin
for
Phillips,
fun.
I was just going to show him this. This is
Oh,
the
there you
beer
go.
shop, Kevin, that Mocha Latte Porter from Country Boy Brewing. It's nice low alcohol porter, just something nice to drink while we're having a
Jenny Mack has Houston for fun. Yeah, Houston's a tough team, Jenny. When they're healthy, I think they're one of the best, if not the best teams in the nation. But I tell you right now,
as much as it pains me, the team playing the best basketball going into the tournament that has to be the favorite in this by a lot of people is Florida.
That's my national champion. I have Florida versus Houston in the national championship.
Florida's playing good, very good basketball, and they're tough because they've got three of the best guards in the country starting, and then their two big guys both play extremely well, and it's just that is a tough team. There are no holes on that team.
No, not at all.
They've got great guys coming off the bench, so they're going to be a tough out for somebody.
Yep, no doubt.
So I'm actually against John Hancock this weekend too, and I'll tell you why. And I love John Hancock. I think John Hancock's a great horse. But the thing about John Hancock to me is I think that there's going to be a lot of speed in this race.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for somebody that's not going to want to be on the lead.
Yeah. Exactly. And by the way, I say this very with conviction, right? I see a lot of pace in that race, right? And I think that will help Chunk of Gold, the preservationist baby. He goes up to 1 mile and 3/16. That's not going to be a problem. The distance is not going to be a problem being on a preservationist. And if there's a real hot pace up front, he could be coming again like he did last time, down there. He liked the track. So, Chunk of Gold is not without a chance. That's for definite, for sure. Yeah. JG Funk, look, I'm a UConn fan and I hate Duke, but I'm not going to sit here and say Coach K isn't one of the greatest coaches ever. It is what it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be you basically have to look at it that way. But I'm with you. I despise Duke. I'm a Kentucky.
Right. Now, Kevin, here's the problem with your thing. And I have Houston this is why I picked Florida over Houston in the championship. Calvin Sampson is so jinxed in the tournament every time he gets in with huge teams, but he can never win exactly. But maybe this could be the first time. So you never know. I have him in the final, so I'm hoping you do well. Exactly. But Kevin Phillips, Built, Vassimo, and Tistastic is who I like. Perfect. Well, I can say one thing for Tistastic. Throw that Arkansas race completely out. It was all speed. No one was closing. His trainer, and I love the fact that you see him so close, coming back, because I don't think the horse even ran a step because the jockey knew we're not going to get up there, So I think Tistastic is definitely, Florida will choke, Houston in a runaway. There you go, Jenny. All right. So now we are turning to the third race here on our card, folks. And we have a full field of 9 with no scratches. And let me read you the conditions. Claiming 75,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, 3-year-olds. And Tim, who are your picks here in this race, Mega Man?
So looking at the board right now, the 7 Ironsides was your morning line favorite and is currently favored on the board, and I get that. But first race in a new barn, for a trainer that doesn't do particularly well first off the claim, just seems to kind of be all over the place. So when I looked at this, I mean, this is another one just like the last race, and I kind of said this earlier that I thought a lot of the races today we could beat the favorites.
Yeah.
And this is another race I'm going to try to do that. I mean, you get the old man up on the ride, Perius, and so it definitely knows his way around the track here. But I'm just going to play against this one a little bit. So first horse I'll look at, Sean, is the 5, Kikion, however you want to say it. But so this is a horse basically third off the layoff. If you look, shows early speed in that last race, basically lost right at the end to I Am the Game, and that was a really good race. But
Yeah.
I just think that this horse in this particular race, I think that there's a good chance that the horse gets out there on the lead alone and maybe just doesn't get a lot of pressure and can maybe run away from this field. So I think that the level fits for this horse. You've got non-winners of 3 life at 7,500, and that's kind of where the horse has been. 2 straight at Turfway here and 5 total starts. Does have a win in the second, and those are the last 2 races. So the horse just seems to be in form right now as a 4-year-old. I like him here, and I like him quite a bit, honestly. But after the 4, I've got the 7 right there, second and third, but I'm going to actually try to play the 7 furthest underneath, but both ways. But the 2 Cape Crusader for Burgos here. This is another one, third off the layoff, is coming off a claim here. Definitely the trainer in this particular case doesn't do well, but the numbers fit for this horse, Sean, and this is a horse who, the numbers for this particular horse, when you look at everybody in the field, I mean, that's your last race best buyer other than the 7 horse, right?
Yeah.
So on the synthetic. So if you're looking for somebody to beat the 7, this horse ran a race that was just as good as the 7's last race. So at the price we're getting on the 2 at 4 to 1, I just think that one has to be included. So I'm going to try to, put some order with those 3 horses. I've got to keep the 7 in there. It makes total sense. But I do think a case can be made against a horse. I really like the 4 on top, even if I wasn't, and not even just fading the 7. If I'm just putting the 2 head to head, I'm going to take the 4 over the 7. But 4-7-2, 4-2-7, however you want to look at it, that's the way I've got it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let us know who you guys like. And Irene said Caitlin Free suggests playing against the favorite in race 3 also. And Caitlin in this race is 2194. And Caitlin and I are on the same page here because my top pick was the 2 Cape Crusader for Amara Kranz, and who's 1 for 3. I wonder if this is Amara's first kind of attempt at trainers, because she has no other record beforehand. But Alberto Burgos, who is a friend of mine, is much better than 2 for 53. I'm shocked he's 2 for 53. Exactly, and never seen him this low, especially after he did so well at Horseshoe last year. Exactly, but he can get it out. But not only does Amara train this, but she owns this horse, and I really did like this horse. The fact that I always say the right sandbox, for the right with the right friends, and that horse ran against 20,000. Did not run that bad, even though he came in 5th versus Elong. As Tim says, show me something if you're gonna, and he didn't run that bad in the 20,000. Came down to the 5,000, closed strong, and he's back at the same distance and at a higher price, which means that not only the trainer, she's the owner, she's trying her against bettor, which means that she's confident in her. So, Tim, hit that button. I am ready.
We need no time.
In this race, we just had a big hit early. I'm just going to do 5 to win and place in the 2. I think at 9-2, 5-1, that's tremendous value.
Yeah, and Sean, I like owner trainers for lesser known trainers, and it's an angle to where, you know, they don't have a lot of horses. And when they own the horse, you know, it's just like last race we were talking about, you know, what are the intentions of a guy like Brad Cox putting that horse, the 7 in that race?
Yeah.
So I know what Amara's intentions are in this race. She's trying to win.
Trying to win, right? She doesn't have 45, 50 horses in her barn where she can just say, oh, okay, you know?
Yeah.
She's trying to get a W. And if she loses them, then she's trying to win with them, you know? And I
but
think
the horses are on the track.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Showing the 4 right now on the screen, looking good. There's the 5, St. Martin City. Sophie Doyle.
Good old Sophie.
The 6, Tom Spirit, Alvin Jimenez.
Yeah, Hugo Andrade.
Jockey on the 8 just went flying by everybody. That horse is trying to warm up.
There's the old man, Perry Hoops.
Ironside's current 5-2 favorite with the old man.
And the 8 is already off and running with Irvin Moncada.
Moncada's ready. Did he know they haven't started yet? And the 9, Caballo Feliz, the happy horse.
Yes.
The Axeman, Luan Machado, on the 9. What's up, Bob Jackson?
Great to see you, Bob. How are you, man?
Nobody told Moncada that they hadn't started the race yet. He was great.
I think someone's going out for the lead or something.
All right. And for everybody, if you're just tuning in, you got one more race. We got 5 minutes to race 3, but don't forget, in race 4, you've got the pick 5 kicking off, and tonight has a $92,000.
$92,000 on the line.
A little bit of extra cabbage in the pool.
Yes. Thank you to 48 joining us tonight. Thank you, guys. Always great to see you.
Our viewership is down tonight, Sean. People seem to be watching that round ball.
Yeah, exactly. And this is March Madness at its finest. But we're glad you guys are with us, and so far, hopefully, you've turned a profit here so far.
We hit a nice $86 exacta in
the
first race, and the race before that, I hit the try. We weren't on the air, but so far we're 2 for 2. Let's keep that going.
Love it. Yep. And Bobby D's got exacta box 4219. Good luck, Bobby. Kyle Graves is alive in the pick 3 with a 2479. Hope that Guinness tastes even sweeter for you afterwards, Kyle. Hopefully with the 2 on top. We're heading towards the gate here. I'm sure they'll go pretty much on time tonight with the weather. You know, not too much going around the,
No, normally they wait till a minute or 2 before they start, lining up and heading that way. And it's 3 minutes and they're like starting to do that. So.
Right. And the great thing is, I was just going to mention this too. When Tim hits a big thing like that early. Marv Beatty, how are you, bud? Great to see you.
What's up, Marv?
And great to have you. Yeah, and this is why the play I did what I did, because in this lounge we're trying to get you from the first race to the last race. So the thing is, you won more money, so you can. Nope, we stick to our format. We stick to our and we try to get some value bets that will A, make you money, but B, keep our bankroll intact. So.
Here's the thing about one thing that we always say here in the lounge, and Sean is exactly right in everything that he's saying. And it's like, we've got people in here that are watching on a regular basis from, from the smallest $2 players all the way to some big players. And it's like everybody just play what you play, right?
Yep.
Play your bankroll and your races. And it's like last race, for example, we played a nice, easy $2 exacta, but depending on your bankroll, it's like, me personally, I'm over here playing it for $5. So it's really nice. And it's just
right.
But everybody plays their own bankroll. And just because we're saying that our goal is to, to try to give out some tips and, something that maybe helps you with your picks, we don't want you to necessarily just bet exactly what we say. For those that do want to ride on, that's fine. But just take what we say with your own handicapping and use it to either say that we're crazy and you like your pick even more, or maybe make you look at something you hadn't looked at before. Either way, but everybody play your own budget, play your own way, and
right, yeah.
And just because we're saying that our goal here in the lounge is to get even, that doesn't mean that we hope every one of you win big tonight.
Yeah. Amen. And they're circling around, getting near the gate here.
But you got to play your own. You got to. Don't let anybody ever talk you off a horse or into a bet.
No, absolutely.
Now, I've often had my own horses and hear somebody say something and be like, you know what? I didn't think about that. And now that you say it, I see it. And I can't exclude that horse. And I add it in with what I'm doing. But it wouldn't make me completely change what I'm betting. It might just add to it.
Right.
But to me, everything you hear, a lot of people are like, oh, this pundit and that pundit and the talking heads, and people like to talk negatively about people. We don't charge a thing for what we do here. We do it for fun and for love of the game. And it's just like we're sharing knowledge, and we're not claiming that it's the best out there.
Right.
It's just our knowledge and what we got and what we do. And we love the game enough to where this is kind of what we do on Thursday nights and all throughout the weekend. Have a little fun, and we enjoy it. I'll tell you what, find another show out there to where the people are doing it. There are a few other streams out there. Find another show to where the people are interacting with the audience and talking to them like we do with you guys. That to me, that's as much fun as betting the horses on.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. That's why we love doing it. 9 getting bet down to 7-2. 4 at 7-2. 7 up to 2-1.
We're all loaded up, and they're all from the middle of the pack. The 4 showing early speed, as are the 8 and the 9 to the outside. Those are going to get carried wide into the turn, and the 3 dips down under the rail is going to show early speed behind the 4. It's Kikion, that horse I like up front. Caballo Feliz and the Axeman are currently sitting in second, royally flushed outside of Shosha in third, and 4. It's another length back that's up on the outside. It looks like the 8 horse third, the 7 starting to make a move. Then you've got the 2, 1, 5, and the 6 trails the field. The quarter was 23.39. That 4 still got about a half length lead. Caballo Feliz well in hand on a handhold from Juan. And here comes the 7 with a huge move. Royally flushed at 21-1 is starting to make a move, and outside that one, there's your 2-1 favorite. Ironsides puts a nose in front. Kikion is not done down on the inside. The 9 Caballo Feliz with the Luan Machado up is starting to get let loose here. So Luan gave him the reins, and we're not sure he's doing much with it. But the 2 is now starting to make a move outside that one.
The 7 right now is in a league of his own right now.
He's looking good, but here comes everybody else behind him as we hit the top of the stretch. Everybody's getting carried wide. That's going to hurt the 2 horse, but Ironsides at 2-1 is a favorite. Looks to be an easy winner at this point. Late run here from Succession Gold starting to move up into second place, but up front, Ironside looks to be well in hand. Coast to the finish, 7-1, 4, and 3.
I definitely would have had the 7 in my exact. I definitely would not have had the 1. So
no.
Good for JM Hernandez and 14-1. If you got that, let's see who had that exactly. Let's see.
Sean, that goes back to something that you and I were talking about right before we came on air, and we say this in here every week. That 2 was actually starting to make move, but got carried wide into the stretch. And then just complete fade.
Yep.
If you get carried into this Turfway stretch, if you get carried wide, forget about it.
Forget about it. You're done. All momentum stops, and you just pick up your horse and just ride him out. Yep.
No. See you in the next race.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're done.
So the 7. So let's see. Okay, let's see. So I think Kyle hit his pick 3. Great job, Kyle. Let's see. Let's go back here. See what we got here.
So you get 2-1 over 14-1 over 4-1. If you had the 1 in there with the 7 and the 4, those are 2 of my top 3. I needed that 2 in there. Did not have the 1. Didn't like the 1 much at all.
No, me neither. Exactly. So I was going to do an exacta box. So I'm actually kind of glad I didn't, because Bobby D had 4-2-1-9. Oh.
Rodney, I think you're in good shape, because, I mean, to me, with the scratch of the 4 in the 4th race, I think it's all 6 and 8 in there.
Rick Johnson had the 2 like me, and 4-9. Yeah, late. Yeah, R. Stephanie. Yep, thank you. Late pick 5 starts in race 4. Hey, Malathot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Malathot. We got off to a good start with a nice exacta in race 2.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen love him as a friend, but I don't think Alberto has just not ridden really very solidly or with much confidence this meet at all. Last year you couldn't lose with him and Knapp, and this year just not the same case, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it week in and week out, but oh my gosh, Sean, he's just really seems down this year.
He does, yeah. Just the confidence just lacking. That's all it takes. Yeah, late pick 5 time.
It is.
Rodney, for the purpose of the show, now Tim, if he has a pick 5, will share it with you. You know what I'm saying? He always happy to share it with you. But generally for the show, we don't do pick 5s and pick 3s, because we're trying to focus on the race to race. Exactly. So we generally don't do that. But if Tim has one or I have one, we'll gladly definitely share it with you guys so that you see how we're thinking, you know, on how to construct one. Dave Weaver is singling the ice cold 2 in race 6. All right, like it. Thank you, Irene. My man Dave Weaver. All right. So anyone who had that one, that was the 1 made that one a nice hit there, Tim. If you had the 1, I did not like the 1.
No, I didn't either. I wouldn't have had it. So,
but that was excellent.
Hats off to those who did, but I would not.
Yeah, hats off for sure. And now, as you said, the scratch of the 4 in the next race makes it a much more open race there. Yeah, for sure. 4 is scratched. We had the 4 and 5 in this next race scratched, by the way.
Oh, Formula checking in. What's up, Formula?
Hey, Formula.
We started off with a nice exacta hit in race 2.
Yeah.
And too bad we weren't on for race 1, because we hit the try there as well.
I know, exactly. We are packing for our spontaneous trip to New Orleans. I heard Tyler took them out on Caldera. We cleared calendars and are going to Fairgrounds tomorrow. Look at that. And Tyler won 2 today, so I know Tim's bankroll is way up today because Tyler won 2, so he was all over that.
Oh, yeah.
What has happened to Hurry Up Hannah? She's not the same horse. With that being said, Fantastical is a single for me. There you go. But the 4th race is a mile claiming 5,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. The Tim Special. Curtis Sinnett says, "Hey Tim, I hear Nisos is fixing to rebound."
We shall see.
Yeah, but the 4 and 5 have been scratched in this next race.
Yeah, I hope he makes it back to the track and runs some good races. The more good older horses we have, the better it is for the game.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
I love it when it's competitive in the older divisions and everybody's not retiring as a 3-year-old to go make money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will start with this race, Tim.
Sounds good.
I'm not inventing the wheel here, probably to your shock here. My number one pick now is the 6 Garden Leave, Drury, and Mancada. I think this horse has run three very solid races. Right level, Mancada rides this horse well. Formerly trained by Shug McGahee, has really seemed to take to the poly track great, being out of Curlin, out of a war front, not a surprise at all. Especially with the 4 out, I think this horse makes it even tougher for this horse. Then my second pick, to nobody's shock, is Third Degree for Courier and Robert Klein. Again, this horse was owned by Wasabi and Jesus Cruz. Shout out to our friend TK Kugler. But Robert Klein what has he done wrong this meet? 5 for 20 with a second and 2/3. Very solid, knows how to place his horses. This horse will definitely be closing as well. But so I don't think that's a shock. My question was, when I looked at this race, now that the 4 and 5, where's the speed coming from? Who's going to want the lead? And I'm not really sure who that is going to be. So I was trying to find a third horse there, and I ended up on the 1 because the 1 has at least shown some speed on the lead. So I figured maybe if everybody else is so far back, then he just steals it up front and at least holds on for a share. So that was my third pick. I was 6-8-1.
All right. Without even making any comments, I'm 6-8-1.
Yeah, right.
It's like it, and I'm like 6-8.
Yeah,
and 1.
Yeah, right. Yep. But that is my thing right now. Yep. And right now we have the 6 at 8-5. We have the 8 at 7-2, and the 1 at 7-2, and the 7 at 5-2. So we got a lot of people thinking this is a wide open affair.
For sure.
The 7 down from an 8-1 morning line down to 5-2. Getting some play.
Betty's listening on the drive. Betty, this is a cocktail lounge and we're normally drinking, so we want to make sure you're not drinking in the drive.
Yeah, exactly. Amen. Great to always have you, Betty.
It's Betty, so I'm sure she's just drinking coffee.
Yes, absolutely. And a very damn good coffee too at that. So that will definitely be, yeah. So we have, what do we got here? And let's see what see if we got.
I knew you weren't, Betty. You know I'm kidding.
Official order finished. The 2 came in dead last. Well, that's what happens when you go 5 wide around a turn. At Turfway, you just lose all momentum and fall back helplessly. Right back at you, Betty. Right back at you. Our Stephanie played the pick 5. Good luck, our Steph. Let me see if I can give people a quick update here. Just one for those wondering. Let me see if I can find it here. So right now we have Tennessee is beating Wofford early. BYU beat VCU 80-71. We got Arkansas early playing Kansas. And we had Houston beat SIU Edwardsville. Auburn beat Alabama State. Wisconsin beat Montana. Purdue beat High Point. McNeese all over Clemson. BYU beat VCU. Creighton over Louisville. And Gonzaga walloped Georgia 89-68. That is where we are in the tournament right now, folks. Giving a little update there. I have 2 horses in New Orleans Classic to beat Sierra Leone, and no, neither is Hall of Fame. Going against Asmussen. Mike Witten's bankroll is at $27.90, 2 to place and show on the 1 for $4. Good luck, Mike. And let's see who Ms. Caitlin likes here. Definitely looks like a cold day, Tim, for sure.
It does.
Everybody is dressed to be warm. All the horses have blankets on them. Definitely keeping them cold, keeping them warm.
I'm throwing something together, Sean, here to
Yeah.
everybody, and then
yeah,
this is here.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and Gold Angel here says Gold Frank wire to wire, 5 to win in place, $1 exacta, 1 with all, 50-cent try, 1 all with 239. Yeah, Clemson was down with like 15 points, and they kept hitting threes, and the other team kept missing free throws. But they tried to come back and just ran out of time.
All right, Sean, I'm gonna drop this in chat, everybody, because a couple people were asking.
Yes,
here.
absolutely. So, please do. Yes.
This is the way I'm gonna approach this pick 5. I'm gonna try to single the 6 here. And I think you have to spread a little bit in the next race, and we'll talk about some of these as we get into the races and which one of these are the ones that I actually like the most. But I think you have to spread in that one. I like 3 horses. That 2 is a big favorite in there. I'm actually trying to beat the 2, but I'm scared of the 2, so I'm including the 2, but I'm really trying to beat the 2 with the 4 and the 5 in that race. The 4 and the 6, I think that's pretty solid going in there. The 4 is probably going to be your favorite. The 6 is a horse I'm trying to win with at a price. So keep an eye out for that one later on. And then 2, 3, 7 in the finale. But that'll cost you $36 total. That's the way that I'm going to punch a ticket here. I just punched it in myself for 50 cents, pick 5.
38 degrees in Cincinnati, 10+ mile per hour wind. Bobby D likes the 7-1 with a 6-8 win on the 1 and the 2. JG Funk likes that 1 as well. Definitely the lone speed in this race for sure. And they can steal it. For sure. Caitlin's picks are 8, 6, 7, and 1.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly what we were saying. Is we think this has come down to a 2-horse race. I had originally looked at my pick 5 at including both, but I'm not one to play $72 pick 5, so I wanted to get it about half of that. So I'm going to take a shot here with the 6. If you like the 8 more, you could easily swap the 6 for the 8 in this race. And that would also get you a better price because the 6 is currently 6-5 and the 8 is 7-2. So if you like the 8 more, have at it. If you like the 1, change that up. But
yeah.
Or if you want to play more money and take a shot, I am not one of these guys who plays horizontals 4, 5s, and 6s and plays several $100s and even thousands of dollars. Like some tickets I see, I don't care how much the carryover is and what it is, and even on the mandatory payout days. And I say that because I really don't play jackpots. I play them if they're paying, and that's it. I like keeping it skinny, and I'm gonna take my shot. And if I hit it, I hit it, and if I don't, we play the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the 6 was wonderful in the paddock.
Yep. I the other day for the Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream had Tim saw a $7.20 ticket, and I was 5 out of 6, and only the favorite in the fifth leg cost me. But exactly. But for a $7.20 ticket, I had conviction and almost pulled it off.
That's the way to do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You may not hit as many, but you don't lose as much.
No. Yeah. The other thing I will say to people, and I think we learned this at Gulfstream this year, right? I had a couple of people say to me, they said, "Whoa, Chad Brown's doing so bad." Folks, if you've ever watched Chad Brown uses Gulfstream as a total workout place for his horses. He's getting them just tightened so they can for the rest of the year in Keeneland and New York and everywhere else. Exactly. He is the master of just the Gulfstream races for his horses are almost like workouts where they're just trying to get back into shape. And then,
Yeah, Malathot, I totally agree. It's like you accomplish something because what a lot of people call the caveman tickets. I mean, did you really handicap or did you just play numbers? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing numbers and hitting them if that's your thing. But to me, I approach this game differently. It's about something a little different than just winning the money. I mean, don't get me wrong. We want to win the money.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not about just winning. It's about trying to handicap and hit the races and, try to line it up the way you see it. It makes sense.
Right. Like I saw one ticket that someone posted. I forget it was like 6 by 8 by 6 by 7 by, I'm like, okay, I hope you hit it. Because you know what I'm saying? Because if you're not, if one of those isn't coming in, then then you're just,
Well, it's like over the weekend, Sean. I saw somebody on X that posted a winning ticket to where I want to say it was a pick 5. I don't think it was a pick 6, but I want to say they hit for like $6,000, but their ticket was over 1,000.
Right. Yeah.
So
right.
I understand. Look, that's still a return, not a good one in my opinion, but I understand that while they got a return, their goal was they thought that particular day maybe it's going to pay out 20,000, 30,000, and that's why they're But in the end, they didn't, and 1,000 to get 6 is not a very good smart bet to me because you can almost do that in many races with strong exactas.
Right. Exactly.
When people post those caveman tickets and they only end up hitting like 2, 3, 4 to 1, I'm like, you can do that in almost any damn race across the country if you handicap.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And you don't have to go crazy to do it.
Right. Yeah. I can't stand it.
Great on the track, Sean.
Oh yeah, looks fabulous. Yeah.
Luan's warming that 7 up.
Yeah. Going out for a jog. 8 looks very solid.
Yarmarie.
Korea. And the 9. Love me, Archie.
Once again, I'm going to put this up if anybody's interested. That was
put that up.
Ticket, a $36 ticket. I'm singling the 6 here. If you like another one, you could replace that. I think you got to go a little deeper in the next 2's a favorite in that next one. I'm trying to beat that one with the 4 or 5, but including that, I like that 6 a lot in that next one at a price. We'll talk about that when we get to that race. The 4 is your favorite there, but we'll include both of those and then finish up with 2, 3, 7.
Did Malathot see me at Keeneland? I think you'd have to ask Malathot if he saw you at Keeneland. I saw you at Keeneland. I don't know. My Louisiana Derby late pick 5 is all 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 18. Good luck, Malathot.
Sean, my dog's trying to get on camera tonight. She's up here. Her head keeps popping up here below me.
I see exactly. Who do you like? Exactly. Yeah, Louisiana Derby all stakes pick 5 will have some heavy chalks in the sequence. Yes, they will.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Great card, yeah. But there will be some definitely chalks to beat for sure.
Yeah. And to me, those are good ones to attack and just go slam, take a position against a couple of them. And, if you hit, you could really hit big.
Yeah. The Tom Benson Memorial is a very tough one indeed.
Tough race.
Very tough indeed.
Sean, I think I've seen enough.
I love it.
Once again, we're going to go kind of simple here, folks. I'm going to play. I think it's a 2-horse race. I do like the one underneath, but I think it's a 2-horse race, and we're going to play a $5 exacta box. We're going to throw $10 on the line here, and here's the thing: the 6-8 is the lowest exacta. Sean, it's paying 10 to 1.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Cannot beat that. No,
it's paying 10 to 1 for the lowest exacta on the board.
Yeah.
So. Yep. If we could get this home at 10 to 1 and pocket $50 for our $10 wager or $40 profit, I'll take that.
Take it every single time. Yep. Three minutes to post.
So Irene's A horses are 85264. Let me find mine again. Here we go. So 85264. Ooh, we got a few differences. And I get a couple of them, and there are a couple of them as we get into the other races that I'll talk about later. But it's like I've said a couple of times so far tonight. I think this is a really good card to where we can beat some favorites, and we've done that a couple of times so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just want to give a quick shout out. She's probably not watching, but we just want to give a best wishes to our friend Farron Peterson, who's a wonderful not only jockey but a scientist in horse racing and photographer. Does so much for the game. She got trampled last week, and she's out of the hospital now, but she's in the paddock and got trampled. And we wish her a very speedy recovery. One of my favorite people. So we wanted to, on behalf of everybody, Trust the Profits, get better, Farron.
Yeah, Sean, and while we're on a little bit of a somber note, I think we have to give a shout out to the connections and family of Hunter Myers.
Yes,
everyone saw that, but what a tragic, sad story. You hate to see it. We all know that this game can have its dangers, and jockeys and harness drivers get hurt a bit, but fatal injuries don't occur as often, and we actually had one of those in the game last night, and it's just a heartbreaker when things like that happen. But
sure.
A great young harness driver, so our thoughts and prayers out to the family and friends of Hunter Myers and everyone that was affected by that great loss last night.
Yeah, absolutely, especially the whole Meadows family. Yeah, absolutely. He just had a young baby just this past fall, too, which makes it that much tougher. But hopefully the community will rally around Chloe and her family, and he will be greatly missed. Such a promising young driver.
All right, but let's turn this back to the positive happy side. Looking at the
Yeah.
six here, looking really good.
Yep, Bobby D's got a exacta 1 with the 6-7-2. Bob Jackson's top picks are 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, Groundhog definitely. Yep.
Another thing, if you like our exacta pick here with the 6 and the 8, this is a race to where my trifecta formula is typically take your exacta box and go 6-8 with 6-8, and then play like 2 or 3 horses in third. And in here for me, that would probably be like 1 and 7 for sure, and then maybe throw one more horse in there. But I would definitely throw a 1-7. Maybe make sure that we include him, Sanger on the 3 at a price, who I thought is a horse that might get there in a long shot. But we're off.
They're off.
7 from the middle of the track, showing some early speed with the Axeman down on the rail. That's the 1 horse. It's a couple back to the 4, going a little bit wide. It's going to be now 4th with the 2 Red Hill getting up inside that one in the 3rd position. You have the 6 horse back in 4th position right now, but up front early on, Battle of Britain got a good handhold on that one. It's 2 lengths back to go up front. The 1 horse currently sitting in 2nd. Red Hill and Garden Leave are about 4 lengths back from that one. The quarter 23 flat. Battle of Britain still up front. The others have a lot of work to do early on. The race should start to pick up from here.
This is like 5 different races.
Yes. But up front, they're letting Battle of Britain go.
47 flat.
See them all out there too far. He has really got a good 6-7 length lead over the 1 horse. Now the 6 Garden Leave is starting to get into gear and starting to close up. Let's see if he can do some damage as we hit to the stretch, but that one's going to have to tire.
7 seems to be tiring a little bit.
The 8 is starting to move a little as well. Let's see if the 7 did.
Come on, the 7 getting a little tired here. Come on, 8.
Here come our 6
Come
and
on.
our 8.
He's feeling a little tired.
7 is tiring. We've got our horses coming. There's the 6. We got to get the 8 up. Get that 8 up. Here they come. 6, 8, and 7.
Beautiful.
And if you played the try, I said you would have had that one too. 6 and 8 and 6 with the 7 and the 1.
Beautiful.
That's all it took. We're on fire tonight.
Just one.
Really, and oh, by the way, that was the 6 who was my single in my pick 5. So if you had that one playing along, we're through to the 2nd.
Yep. And still, we got bet down to $6, but $12, 5-1 on that exact is still very, very good.
Yeah, but that was an easy try to have. I mean, 6, 8, 7.
Yes,
with 1 and 7, which is the the 4 horses I mentioned. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, definitely. Great pick, Tim.
They almost let Luan loose too much, but he
exactly. But when I saw that 23 and 47 on a cold night, I'm like, ooh, that could be a little bit of a
very nice.
Yeah, and Rodney's doing great, 3 for 3, 7 on his Mike Whitten, he thought that it was a quarter horse race.
We didn't win a ton, Sean, but we won.
That's it, right. But I just said to you, in that field, right. Okay, you and I were 6-8, that's it, right? Yep. And you got 5-1 on that. That's value.
6-1, $6.24.
Excuse me. You're right. So I'm saying, Oh, let me answer Sully's thing here. Eastern Connecticut State, excellent school. Sully, excellent school at Eastern Connecticut. Very, very well respected in the state. Yep. Very good school. Yeah, but 6-1. I mean, on that, look at it's Tim time, exacta and try. Tim's seeing the ball. So to recap, Tim and I won the first race, right? With the try, we weren't on. Tim hit the second exacta. I came in dead last in the third. And so we're either up or exactly, but we're doing good. Exactly.
No, we're doing good.
No. That was
And like always, Sean, we're having a great time. So
yeah. Amen. Absolutely.
hanging out with our friends on a Thursday night.
Oh, you can't beat it. Exactly. Yeah. And the same as we say so many times when Tim and I are on the same page, it's usually a good sign that that the horses are going to run pretty good. So good hit for everybody who had that.
Absolutely, we'll take that. I mean, it was $6.24, and we had it for $5. So
Oh yeah,
we'll get 31, which will get us about a $21 profit. So
amen.
The bankroll, keep growing.
Yeah. And we only have eight races tonight, so we're doing.
And if you played that pick 5, we are through with our single. So that was our single.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is great.
There was that. So we're deep in this one, 2, 6, 8, and 9.
Yeah, absolutely. It's official.
$12.48 for
Can't
$2.
beat that.
We have it for 5.
Can't beat that at all. Marv Beatty. Is it that 7 on the jockey and the 7 was lunatic? Yeah, the one was. Well, you could tell. Sometimes I will say this because Tim and I pointed it out that he was even warming them up, in the post parade, pretty. But sometimes when you have a 100-pound jockey and a 1,000-pound horse, sometimes the horse can kind of rule as to what you're doing. So sometimes,
yeah, and if you were watching that horse early, I mean, he had a good handhold on.
He did.
It was just no holding the horse back that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready to go.
Oh, one tick.
Wanted to roll.
I like it. There we go. So we move on to race 5. 1 mile, claiming 5,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Right up Tim's alley. Yes, sir. And let me see if we have any scratches here. I know. And we have no scratches here, so we have a exactly. Now, if Malathought's still with us, he should bet Son of a Gray, because that sounds like the gray that he had. This is an interesting race for sure. And we have what do we got? We got 20 minutes, so a lot of time.
Lots of time.
Yeah. Let's look into that there. Let me see here. We'll look. Let me see here. So we have the Louisiana Derby coming up this weekend. Tim, did you want to say who you liked in that race, or are you doing a video, or what do you?
No, I don't have any coming out for that one in particular, but let me pull my PPs up here.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now too. Let the crowd know who we like and who we think. Yeah, and and Mel, the 9 is in my pick. There you go. He's trying to seize the gray once again, if you will. Still, I would say, Tim, one of the greatest experiences last year for me, racing wise, was just watching those people in the winner's circle at Parks when Seize the Gray won. I mean, I've never seen an
That was
explosion.
awesome.
That was just incredible to see that many. I've never seen that many people in winner's circle in my life, but that was so exciting. That is what racing is all about, right there.
All right. So, I mean, here's the thing to me is that I really like John Hancock as a horse.
Yeah,
But it's interesting if you've seen the conversation that has gone on lately that I think Brad wanted to take this horse to the Pat Day Mile.
yeah,
And the owners group of this particular horse wants a Derby horse. So they are going to go to the Derby with their points, and they're going to point to that race, and that's where they want to go.
yeah.
So it makes you have some doubts about some things. This is definitely a need to lead type in my mind.
Yeah.
But I love him, but not at the Derby distance, and in this particular race.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it's going to be a good race for John Hancock with the speed coming off the rail, because I just think there's so much other speed in this race.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't think the pace is necessarily going to be super fast, but I think there are several who are going to keep it honest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because of that, I think the race shapes up for somebody to come just off the lead. I know a lot of people look at Caldera, and look, the Sunland Derby to me was a great race. And when I say great race, I mean it was fun to watch as a spectator, because Getaway Car and Caldera put on a show and a battle, and it was close. It was close, and from that perspective, it looks good. But I don't think it was a great Derby prep. I don't think that the horses in that race were up to speed of some of the other horses, and so for that reason, Caldera, even though that's a horse that's probably not going to be on the lead and going to want to sit off, I think that's a fade. Built is a horse that Sean will tell you in all of our chats and our top tens and things we've done for the Profits. I've not been on Built from the beginning, and I'm not getting
me either. No,
I'm not getting on now. This is a horse who will consistently cash checks and be a part and compete. But to me, it's just not a win candidate.
Nope.
So, so who do you like? Who's left? And I like 2 horses in here, and I like one more. I like Instant Replay a little bit, in that this horse is going to want to come from the back. Brad Cox and Florent Giroux. But you guys, you've heard me say it 100 times in profit videos, is I'm just not convinced that Florent Giroux lately has been a top tier jockey and hasn't been riding to the level of the top jockeys in the country. And I do think the guy's been capable in the past, but this horse interests me, so I've got to include him right there. But the one I'm going to go to, I like Vassimo. I like Vassimo in this race. I think that Risen Star, when you come back and look, I mean, Magnitude just crushed that field. So forget about the fact that you're looking at, but Vassimo finished 12 lengths behind. Well, the Chunk of Gold was second and finished 9 3/4 lengths behind, so almost 10. Magnitude just freaked. And Magnitude is a horse that I would have loved had Magnitude stayed healthy and been able to compete. But obviously, we know that's not the case. But I think we're going to look back at the Risen Star and say that race is producing a lot of horses who are pretty darn good. So Irad staying aboard this horse basically says something as well for Fletcher. So
I agree.
I like Vassimo a lot in the race. It's not a horse that I would want to not have on my ticket And here's my second pick after that. And I know I talked about instant replay as a win candidate, but I think this horse either wins or is off the board. But how about a Turfway connection? We're sitting here at Turfway. I like Chunk of Gold. I mean, Ethan West has a horse, and it's like Chunk of Gold's a horse that. Listen, Sean, what race are they running at Turfway this week?
No, Jeff Ruby, and he did not go to it.
So are they bringing Chunk of Gold back for the Jeff Ruby?
No, they are not. He's keeping him right there.
Chunk of Gold and saying, let's go for the Louisiana Derby.
Yeah.
And that Risen Star was a good race, and this is the horse who finished second to Magnitude when Magnitude freaked, and that was a good race. And this is another one that's going to be off what is going to be a good pace. So I like Chunk of Gold a lot in there. So I'm going to play those two, Vassimo and Chunk of Gold, in some kind of connection with other horses, obviously, in my verticals. But those are my two top picks.
Yep, that's my pick right there. And then not because he's a preservationist. I mean, obviously that would be that's my heart pick. But I'm saying, but I literally, legitimately, right? Jareth Loveberry, everybody remembers Two Phils. He rode him great there at Fairgrounds. Jareth is and damn near won the Derby with him. Jareth is no stranger to winning races in dirt and at the Fairgrounds. He's an excellent rider, and if that pace is even, even if it's legit, the pace, he'll be right there. The mile 3/16 is going to be right up his alley. Preservationist, 1 mile and a quarter easily. He won't. This distance is not going to be a problem for him. He'll be right there. So I love it.
I will tell you what, Sean. In my mind, I mean, he may not win the race.
Right. Yeah.
Chunk of Gold is in the trifecta. I'm just going to say it. Chunk of Gold's in the trifecta.
I think so too.
I just fully believe that.
I do. Yep. Me too. Yep.
And, second place is worth 50 points in this particular race. So, I mean, even a second's getting you into the Derby. So,
absolutely.
Hey, Sean, we got a question. I'm going to let you answer this one for Gene.
Okay, let's see here.
Walter Rodriguez is getting up on the 2.
Okay. So Gene. Okay. So Walter Rodriguez, just to let you know here. Okay. Yeah. You mean at Turfway, right? Yeah. Okay. So Walter Rodriguez is he is known simply as Wesley Ward's go-to guy and Walter Rodriguez is an excellent rider. He in situations. Wesley loves to use him on the poly track and on turf sprints. He's very good on those sprints. And Walter also does win around the 2 turns as well. So if you're looking at the 2 and Egyptian King, that is definitely a big switch from Serpa to Walter Rodriguez. That will definitely help your cause for sure. But he's known as Wesley Ward's kind of assignment man, but does very well with his horses.
I like this comment. I got to pull this back up. So I missed this comment by Malathot earlier. The drunk guys at Keeneland cheering, they won and they have 25 tickets. And the one that's a winner, Malathot, is a $2 show ticket on the
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But it is fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. Yep.
Love Keeneland. Hey Sean, let's talk about this one.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Go ahead, my friend. Let us know, because this is which have never won
2 races. All right. So here's the thing. If you go back and you look at my pick 5 in here, and I'm going to throw that up here just put that on the screen just so people can see. Because if you're looking at all the horses in here, it looks like that I've got some exclusions here. So. And I clearly do, and there's one I want to talk about. So if you look in here, I've got 2, 6, 8, and 9. So let's talk about those horses. Yeah. So obviously, if you look at the board right now, your favorite is the 2, and that blows my mind. Yeah. Okay, Sean, this is a horse that I really like a lot, the Egyptian King, who you see I've got in my ticket there. This horse was 10-1 on the morning line, and is now your lukewarm favorite at 7-2. Yeah. The morning line favorite in here was the 3, Urgent Fury. 5-2 in the morning line. look at my ticket right there. I don't have the 3, and I don't like the 3 at all. And the 3 doesn't surprise me that this horse has floated up to 6-1 because I'm kind of against the 3 a little bit. But the horse I do like on top is not the 2. I've got the 2 in there, as you see in my pick 5 ticket. But I love the 6 here, Righteous Star.
Righteous Star.
So you got James Baker getting the Axeman up. This is 1/3 off a layoff. You guys know that's an angle I like. So this is also going to be the second time with the trainer here. And look, anytime Machado's getting up right now, I'm looking at the horse. And here's the thing about this one. If you look at this level, so you've got a 5,000 non-winners of 2. So if you look 2 back, this one was in a 15,000, last time 7,500. This is the sandbox. And if you look at, we talk about this a lot. If you look at those races, they don't look like a lot. But Sean, who was the 6 in against last race? Who won that race? That's the number 4 Kikion in that race. And what happened tonight? We liked that horse in the race, and so it was definitely a horse that was competing. So competing for the win in that race tonight, and definitely was right there and ended up finishing a decent 3rd. So I think this one coming back is one that factors here. Getting the Axeman up, he rode 2 back, and now it's coming back to this horse. So I like him in here. This is an authentic out of a Munnings mare who should just love the poly track, and this one just needs to find the right level. But I mean, go back and look. This was a McPeak horse early on the Kentucky circuit, broke maiden, early at Churchill Downs. So this is a horse that, $175,000 Keeneland sales purchase. And so wasn't the right level. So now has dropped down and is in another barn, but has to be considered at this level. So I like the 6 a lot in here. I know it doesn't show as much, but the 2 was my second pick, like I talked about. I like that Walter Rodriguez is getting up. I mean, Machado gets off this one to go to that one. I thought I would get a price, but I'm really honestly shocked that the horse is currently sitting at 4-1. And then my 3rd horse here, who you also see on my ticket there, is the 9 Son of a Gray, who is now actually your favorite. So the Son of a Gray, going to come from the outside here, and I think the mile distance last time out was sprinting. But if you look 2 back at the mile, went gate to wire. So this is a horse that's going to be up front early. And that first time against winners at a different distance wasn't the right spot for that one. But I think the horse fits here and fits in a big way. So that's one I want on my ticket. And then one at a little bit of a price. I thought the 8, the numbers just kept coming out for me, that I just think that this horse at the distance, that wasn't a horrible effort in the last one. Even though it doesn't say that on the form, but it did. But when I watched the race, it looked like this horse wasn't necessarily trying and was just even. And when I see horses that go out, when I watch races back and I see a horse that is like, there's no reason for a horse to be bad, and it just looks like the horse is out and just getting a solid workout. I just take it that was their intent, right? So. Maybe this horse pops at a price underneath, maybe for a piece, but I did include that one even in my pick 5 for that reason, that I thought that the numbers made sense on this horse. So looking at them again in order, 6, 2, 9, 8.
There we go. Okay. And you and I are very similar again, which is a good thing here. And the horses are on the track. Yep, I think I know what I'm going to do, my friend.
Love it.
Okay, I'm just going to do a $2 exacta box 269. I think that's a solid play. Love the change to Walter. Love the change, Love the 6, and I think Constantino will be tough there on the outside. So I'm just doing $2 exacta box 269.
A nice, easy $12 wager.
Yep. Keeping us way ahead still. Not going crazy, but If it hits, still a nice pace.
Still 173 in the bankroll.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Good shape. But if you like something in this race, I think that this race it has the potential to pay. So I would encourage you to not necessarily bet what we bet, but listen to what we said. Take your own opinions, and I would go exactas and tries here because I think the potential is that you get a decent trifecta here.
Right, exactly. Yep.
I like that the 3 is starting to take a little bit of money. That one's a total fade for me. Could beat me as always, but I'm fading that one. Didn't like it as much. I do love the 2 and also love that the 2 is floating up a little bit. The 6 is not taking money. It's holding like right at that 5 to 1. I kind of like that 6 in there. I definitely want that 6 to be a piece for sure. Yeah. And if you're looking right there on the screen, the 6 looks really good. Machado up.
Yep. Bob Jackson
kind of standing up on the horse a little bit. And
yeah.
Now calming down.
Yeah. I feel like I should be wary of a blindside cross check from Roenick in this race. Jeremy Roenick, our boy from Boston. Zach, yeah, I consider the 4. Zach, he's not without a shot in this race. But Bob Jackson's top picks are the 5, 6, 8. JG Funk has a 1, 2, 6 exacta box. Why, Mike? Why? Bobby's already on his knees. That's not a good thing ever.
Yeah, I wanted to make a case for that 1. I really struggled to put the 1 in there.
Yeah.
That last race was really bad and with no excuses. And this horse just seems to be going in the complete wrong direction. And that has been at this level. So,
right. And then the what do you call it? And then let me just quickly also get rid of 2 misconceptions here. Number 1, I was not in the top. Again, I will repeat, I was not in the top 10 in the NHC handicapping thing. That is very talented, Sean Nolan. And the other rumor that has been surfacing, I was not a part of the group that bought the Celtics for a record $6.1 billion today. The all-time.
I'm sorry to hear that one. I was about to hit you up for season tickets.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I'll still get you in the box, but exactly. But but the season tickets were almost there. They're almost there. Exactly.
All right, guys, we are headed to the game. 1 minute to post. Your 9 is currently your 5 to 2 favorite. After that, it's pretty even. The 2 is at 4. The 3 is at 5. The 4 is at 5. The 6 is at 5. The 8 is at 8.
In the 1's at 11. Everybody's even here.
Yeah, so the 7 is 26 to 1, who's the only one that's not taking really any money in here. The 5 is 14 to 1, but other than those, everybody's taking a little bit.
Everybody's taking a piece of the pie. We're almost all in. Good luck to everybody playing.
Four once out. Let's see if the 4 goes to the lead here.
Yeah.
Once out of the gate. 3. And then 9 from the outside. He's also showing some early speed. The 1's coming up the rail. So pretty good start for most of them here. And whoa. I don't know what happened to the 1 there, but I don't know if you saw that the jockey almost fell off. Looks like
some strange happened there.
Right now, you got Son of a Gray up front by about a length lead over Urgent Fury in second. The 1 has now recovered and come up outside that one into third. It's another 2 lengths back to the 6 down on the rail. Big Elm, the 8 horse, is currently in 5th on the outside. The 2 starting to make a move down on the inside. The 7 outside of those. It's another 3 back to the 5, and the 4 trails the field. The quarter 23.92. Son of a Grave still got a length lead over Big Elm on the outside. Urgent Fury still sitting down on the inside. Favorite Hunt, after that early trouble, is sitting outside in fourth. The half was in 48-3.
Really slowed it down a little bit.
Big Elm right there stalking second. Favorite Hunt starting to make a little bit of a move. Here comes the 7 starting to move. The 6 inside that one. Those two are coming with a big rush. Son of a
Six, get up there with him.
1. Big Elm at 7-1. That's the one I would like to see for my pick 5 ticket. But the 3 starting to show a fade. The 1 is coming up that rail on the inside.
Here comes a 6. Come on, 2.
Got all the speed.
Come on, 9. Stay up there.
On the outside.
There,
Here's my
9.
top pick, the 6. Right.
Only winners.
Star over the 9.
Only winners in the lounge. Love it.
Tom said my mic has got a little bit of an echo. Are you hearing an echo, Sean?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. 8-1 over 4-1. Nice
my
job.
top pick, Sean.
Yep.
Love it. 8-1 in my pick 5, and we are rolling. We're moving on to leg 3 in the pick 5. If you followed along with the 8-1 shot, the Axeman Luan Machado, and that 3, we faded that 3. Took all the money at 8-5. Sean, where's the 3 on the board? Oh wait, he is not.
Nowhere to be found.
My 2 was coming late on the outside. Did get up for 4th, but those are the 2 I wanted on top. But we still had 6 and 9.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Formula.
Love it.
Love it.
And once again, we had the 2, the 6, and the 9. So we have the 6-9 exacta.
8-1 over 4-1. Yet interesting. The 6-9 pays $58.
Yeah, $29.81 to 1. So
yeah,
we are all over it tonight, folks.
Loving it. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Formula. Oh, sorry, Todd. Just missed the 6-1. That would have been sweet, JG Funk, for sure. Absolutely. But still a very nice hit there. Almost got the try. And 2 up for 4th. Luan Machado getting ready. The Axeman getting ready for Keeneland. And I think that helps some jockeys too, going to Keeneland too.
I do too.
Tim, if I recall, opening week last year at Keeneland, I believe the Turfway horses did very well the opening week at Keeneland last year. They were winning.
I think so.
Yeah, they were winning some races there early in the first couple of weeks. So that is definitely an angle for you people to definitely consider when you're in the early weeks at Keeneland.
You know, we've talked about it a few times here in the lounge, but it's been really interesting, you know, the evolution of Turfway.
In the winner's circle is number
Turfway
6,
typically in the
Righteous.
past would not necessarily get the greatest horses and the biggest trainers, and and you know, the results kind of showed that a little bit, but here lately it's been a little bit of a different story, and a lot of people are starting to winter by taking their horses and move them up there, particularly as we move closer into the Keeneland meet. You see a few horses start here at Turfway, get a race under their belt, and go down to Keeneland a little bit fresher. And that's been an angle that kind of works out. But there you go. That $2 exacta 6-9, $59.62. Sean Patrick Nolan, take a bow.
Thank you, sir. $47 profit. Bodek, how are you, my friend? Thank you for joining us tonight.
Sean, let's take a look at the bankroll. 233.06.
6. Love it.
The boys are on fire tonight.
Yes, sir. JG Funk says, are you sure you're not that top 10? Yeah, I just don't want people coming after me for all my money. That's what it's a cover, JG. It's a cover. Exactly. Shh. Be quiet, JG. I'll hook you up. Exactly.
I'll be right back.
Sure, no problem. I would like to submit a formal complaint about the formula. Uh-oh. What is that, Mike? Exactly. Yep, thanks, guys. And Bob Jackson. Yeah, we're definitely seeing the ball tonight, which is always fun and not an easy thing at Turfway, because as you can see, these fields have been very spread out, but we're doing it and seeing the ball well tonight, which is great, and love helping you guys, and your comments help just as well to formulate our opinion. So it's just as valuable as us, So we appreciate you guys just as much as you appreciate us. So thank you so much. Your input is just as valuable as ours, if not more. So we truly appreciate that. And we're moving on to race 6 here with a healthy bankroll, which is always great. And it's a mile claiming 75,000, non-winners of 3 lifetime, claiming 7,500. And let's see, 300 brings the allowance to even past 3 weeks. There you go, Todd. And then let me see here, my friends. Let's see. See if we have any scratches here. Oh, we've frozen here. See if you can get me back here. Oh, we froze. That's not good. Uh-oh. See if it comes back here. Uh-oh.
What happened? I'll leave for a second and Sean. What happened here? I'll leave for a second and Sean disappeared or what? Mike, you gonna come run the show? I don't know what happened. All right, moving on. Let's see where we're at here.
There we are.
There was nobody here,
What
Sean.
happened there? We had I think we had it was like a lightning surge, and all of a sudden everything froze.
I came back and I was like, oh, did we end the stream or what?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What was that? Mike, someone sent me the link. I'll run this show. Yeah, exactly. Crazy. And thank God I wasn't doing anything stupid there.
Sean went to spend all our money that we won.
Exactly.
All right, so we're looking here, just bringing that pick 5 up again. So 2, 4, and 5 is where we're at here. The 2, if you're looking, is a 1 to 2 favorite. So we've got that one, but we hope to beat that one here. So we got
Yes.
a 5 with it.
Yes.
Let's see what we can do as we talk about that.
Absolutely. Yep. Race 6. There you go. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And then Sean, I was like, I leave for 1 second and then I hear your phone in the background and I'm like, I'm not here to play my video, but it's like, Sean's phone rings. This is what I do.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Priceless. All of a sudden, the screen was just completely froze. Like, okay. That's why I just sat there absolutely. You notice I just sat there like a statue. I'm like, I'm not moving, I'm not doing anything because I know it exactly.
I'm like, I leave for 1 second and Sean just like, screw it, I'm closing up shop.
Yeah, I'm taking my money and running. Bye, everybody.
Sean took all the money and left.
Why is our bankroll down to $2.04?
Where did my money go, Sean?
I did it too. Damn it. Twice. I did it. Exactly. All right. So we have a 6 race, a mile, claiming 7,500, excuse me, non-winners of 3. And yes, and do we have any scratches in this race, my friend?
The 6 and the 7 are both out, Sean.
6 and 7 are both out. Yes, I noticed that. Exactly. Change my.
But Mike, you don't have to come on and run the show. But if you ever want to come on and join us, just let us know.
Yeah, Mike, come on one night as the official Turfway representative. You should come on at least one time, Mike. And
Mike's been on with us before.
Yeah, right, exactly. But he should be on tonight. And Mike, we'll send you the link, Mike. You got to come on and come on for at least. You are the Turfway representative, and you have not been on here. You know. Wait a minute. Did Tim go from Mohawk to Ric Flair here in a matter of seconds? I need to stop drinking Gatorade. Bobby D's got exacta 245. Okay. All right. So in this race, Tim, I will do this. Here we go. My first pick was the 2. I did think this is definitely the horse to beat. I'm not saying he can't be beat, and obviously with the 6 and 7 out helps his chances. But I do think this is the strong horse, dropping down, very solid. I think Kelsey Dan is just trying to get a win for this horse, for Dee McGee, the owner. The horses run very solid, squeeze start, rally outside between first, improve. Obviously doesn't like to win a whole lot, 2 out of 17, but is always there. And I think they found the right group where they're just trying to win. And now you're getting towards this end of the meet here. And this is kind of like Woodbine in another way, where you're leaving the synthetic. You may just be trying to get a win with this horse and hope that someone takes it so that your barn can go on to Keeneland and other places. So I think this horse is in a very realistic spot here, and it's obviously showing at 1 to 2. My second pick was your friend of mine, Old Fashioned Girl, for Sophie Doyle. I like the way this horse ran last time. She was steadied, but she still stayed running and still got the job done. This is the 5,000. I like that they're bringing. She broke her maiden at Sophie's horse, broke her maiden at 7,500. So at least Paula McIntyre, who's always been a consistent trainer on this circuit, not one of the most known, but always a very solid trainer. He's still 9 out of 26 in the money. I think this horse can at least get in the money. I don't think it's going to win necessarily, but this is definitely a horse that I think you can consider. I originally had Scoop as my third pick here for Yanni Arantes, but right now the lead horses are not doing fantastic tonight. I know the 9 held on for, but the closers are kind of having their way with these guys around the mile turn tonight. So I did have Scoop in third, but I'm not really thrilled with the way of his running style, but the smaller field does definitely help his chances for sure. So my top three, not creating the wheel, was 2, 5, 4. With the
Yeah,
six.
when you look at the board, Sean, and that's why I kind of picked those three in my pick 5. If you look, everybody else is double digits, and those are the only horses that are really taking money, and it makes sense. And it's a short field, with this the 6 and the 7 being out. We're only talking about a 6-horse race here, so I the 2 makes all the sense in the world, and I totally get it. But this horse that has gone about 8 races without winning.
Yeah.
The
Sure.
The last time this horse won was in March of last year, and it was here at Turfway, and it was a similar thing to where the horse was 2-1 in that particular race. So not quite as low as 3-5 in here, but especially at 3-5, I have to include the horse, but try to beat her. And the thing about Scoop in here to me is I was on, if you remember. I was on Scoop the last time.
Yes.
And, this is a horse that and basically in that particular race, my notes said, I think that she can steal the race, go out on the lead and just run away from everybody. And she almost did. She got out front and then she did tire a little bit late, but I think she's still getting better. The buyers are going up. If you look at the last 4 races, 38, 46, 54, 59, we're continuing to get a little bit better. So I think she might hang on and she has the potential to do that. And then the 5,
especially in a short field. Yeah.
The 5 makes total sense here. The numbers say that these are obviously the 3 horses, and this one's going to be off the pace and closing, which the racing profile kind of fits this horse a little bit better. I think that, but once again with Scoop is like, who else is going to go with this horse? And
right. No,
I think the answer is no one. I don't think there's anybody in here, especially with the scratch of the 6, because the 6 is the one that I thought might go out with that one. And with the 6 out.
Yeah, I will say this, having been, because I'm a big Louis Contreras fan, right? However, I will say I've always preferred him to be closing rather than on the lead. Louis can win wire to wire, but I've never been a huge Louis Contreras fan in terms of being on the lead. And if this horse goes on the lead, that's never been Louis' strong point. I love him on a closer. But hey, if you got the best horse, he can get any horse home. He's done it by many a time. But I'm just saying, just something to think about.
And I did note the change, from Villarreal to Louis as well on that horse, and I like that change. So maybe that's enough to shake this one loose and to shake him up. And look, because the horse is lone speed. I mean, they may let her get out there and just kind of crawl along, and if she does, I don't think they catch her.
Right? Yeah. Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. So absolutely.
We'll continue to take a look. They're showing her right now in the paddock, and okay. And I'm looking at Caitlin's picks. They're on the screen now. She's going 5-2-4-8. The morning line was 2-4-5-6. But still, 2, 4, and 5 are definitely the horses to beat here.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt.
We get any of those home, we're at least through in pick 5. We would like that to be the 4 horse at this point, based on the odds.
Yeah, Irene has just 2 to win, 2 to place in the 3. And maybe just a little super 2-3 with 2-3 with 4-5 with 1-4-5-8. Mike Witten, the formula said Turfway doesn't have the same appeal as Fairgrounds or Oaklawn. I will not come on the show until we receive a live apology. So somehow we have offended the official ambassador of Turfway. Exactly, to the point that he will not come on. Todd has 2-5-7 with 4-5, exactly $5. Good luck, Todd, sir. Toss is probably winning every race in Mohawk tonight. So he's like, this is just my fun bets.
The Jeff Ruby Stakes coming up this Saturday at Turfway.
Yes, sir.
Stakes, spelled Steaks.
Yeah, yeah. Chris D'Souza, how are you? 10 to win on the 8 and an 8-5-4 exacta try box.
All right. You know what they just did in the paddock, Sean?
What'd they do?
Riders up!
Thank you, Terry. No one does it better for you. Tim personally chose Cruz to do it for you, and no one did it better. Mike Witten loving California burrito. Yeah, Todd said I love J Mac and Momo. You're right, Sean. Yep, absolutely.
All right, we're out on the track.
Yes, sir, we are.
There comes the 8, and they are all out. For the 6th race on a cold night at Turfway.
Yes, sir. California burrito.
There's My Gal Justice, Santo Sanju, Psychedelic, your 4 to 5 favorite with Irving Moncada. Sono de Rao, Jan Hernandez. There's Scoop with Louis.
Yes, sir. California burrito. That's a little beyond your $20 budget, don't you think?
Old Fashioned Girl, Sophie Doyle, 7 to 2.
Sophie's in the house.
And the 8 is Skipping Justice, Gabe Saez. Luis's little bro.
Yeah. By the way, tonight I thought this was very cool at Woodbine Mohawk tonight. James McDonald, who was very good friends with Hunter, when he won the 4th race tonight, pointed up to the sky as a kind of a tribute to Tim when he was going over the line. I thought that was very, very, very nice on his part. One of the great drivers. Cold on the track, but hot in the lounge. Thank you, Frank.
It is.
Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, my friend, out there in Keeneland.
We're not done heating up yet. 3 more.
No.
We're like ready to cash a pick 5 here.
Exactly.
It wasn't an official lounge bet, but we put it out to everybody.
Right. Which means if Tim's still alive in the next leg, I have to pick someone else so Tim can root against my horse and say, no way, my pick 5 is alive.
Sean.
No, I'm staying. Notice I'm staying within your pick 5 numbers here. Okay, I had 3 of your pick 5 horses there. Okay, I'm staying with you. I want you to cash that pick 5. Bobby D's got 2, 4, 5, 8. Good luck, my friend. Love seeing it. How many minutes? 4 minutes to post.
Sean, I've been coming on the lounge for a little over a year.
Yeah.
I know how long the lounge has been going because I think we're on, what was today's episode?
100 and something. I've lost track.
Yeah, so we're definitely over 100. So we're at
118.
least a couple years going for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thrived.
So today is episode 120. So
120. Yeah.
And there have been a few weeks that we haven't had a lounge. So we've been going for a little over 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Loved every minute of it.
I wasn't on in the initial stages. Been a little bit more than a year for me. About a year and a half now.
Yeah. No, there will be no live, Mike Whitten. That will be the one week there will not be a live lounge. There will be cocktails, and
There'll be a cocktail lounge, but it just won't be live on YouTube.
Right, it will not be live. Exactly. That week will not be live. Exactly. That is the one week we will be off.
But if you're going to be in Lexington for the weekend, make sure you reach out to us.
Yeah,
Let everybody know. We'll have at least one night to where we go somewhere and hang out and try to meet up with folks.
Yep, absolutely. I don't believe him after last year, but that's
probably Saturday night. So come to Keeneland, come to Lexington on Saturday, stay over to Sunday, go to the races for the Bluegrass.
twist my arm. Wouldn't love it. So we got 3 minutes to post.
All right. How much time we getting here? A couple minutes.
2 minutes to post.
I'm struggling with how to bet this one, Sean, because I don't want to go. I have a feeling, and then I don't want to go against myself. But
yeah.
All right, I think we got something here. Let's put it out so people have time if they want to tag along. So look, I think that this is possibly a 3-horse race, and it's just those 3. And despite what I said earlier, I think the 2 is really good here and trying to beat the 2 and maybe from one perspective, but it's hard to say that this 2 doesn't win this race. So we're just going to bet a $5 trifecta key. We're going to try to hit the try for $5. We're going to keep the 2 on top with the 4 and 5 underneath.
Yep. There you go.
$10 wager, still way up. This is the race to where it's not the greatest betting race. So we're just gonna play it a little bit safe here and move on to the next one, to where I think in the next couple of races we do have an opportunity to make some money. So we'll play a little $10 bet here on the horses that make sense and see if we can cash something and move on to the next one. But even without that one, we are still way up, over $200 in the bankroll, starting out with 100. And this is that thing about that I say a lot about betting with conviction. And if you like a different one on top, it's like my gut was telling me we'd go with the 4, on top of the 2 and the 5, because that's how I originally saw it. But Sean's absolutely right. I mean, I like the 4 and like the lone speed angle, but speed has been tough here holding, and can definitely be a part, but has been tough to win on the lead. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. But Whitten's going 2 place and show on the 5. Slow start for the 8. Everybody else got off to a pretty good start, although the 2 did get a slow start. And then right up front, right now, we've got the 3-horse. Sona de Orao at 26-1 is taking that lead over Scoop, who I thought would be there, but it's in a close second. Old Fashioned Girl stalking on the outside right now, 3 wide. The 1, Mike Out Justice, is sitting back and forth. Just outside that one is the 2-horse Psychedelic, currently sitting in 5th. And Given Justice trails the field. Up front, they go to the quarter, 25.29 seconds, and Scoop does finally get the lead. Sona de Varao is sitting back in 2nd. It's another 4 lengths back to the 5-horse Old Fashioned Girl. My Gal Justice is just inside that one, but they are 3 wide there with Psychedelic finally starting to make a move. And here comes the 8 from the back of the pack starting to really get into gear. The half was in 49.5 seconds up front. Scoop has a nose in front of Sona de Verao, and here comes Psychedelic
with a big move.
as they hit the top of
Five,
the
get up with them.
Psychedelic has the lead. Scoop is still right there. There comes Old Fashioned Girl on the outside. Those are the 3 we need. We need them to hold. Scoop is the one that
Come on now.
coming up on the inside. Old Fashioned Girl needs to get in gear on the outside. That one's got plenty, but Scoop is fading, but it's all Psychedelic at 1-4, pulling away from this field. Going to win by about 8 lengths on the wire.
2-5.
The 5 does get up for second. I believe the 3 on the rail gets third, and My Gal Justice, I think, was fourth. Psychedelic was much the best.
Yeah,
we did move forward in our pick 5. We did not get our bet home because the 4 horse just completely faded.
Yeah, as soon as he got in the match race with the 3, you had to love the 2 and the 5. You know.
Yeah, the 3 definitely took him out of play, but 2-5.
Yeah,
I mean, it was those 3 horses, you know, and the 4 ran a dumb race, so the 5, and then the 8, who took back early, came up to get third position, skipping Justice at 15-1.
Yeah,
and then if you look 26-1, if you bet tries or super, your 2 longest shots were under the 2 of the short shots on the board. So
yeah, exactly. And that, yeah, good job, Mike.
Like Herbie Moncada, 1-4, much the best. Could have definitely been a single on the ticket.
Yeah.
Hope to beat that one, but it just as I got late, and that's why I bet the way I did. It just didn't.
Yep. No, exactly. Yep. And that's why too. And I said to you, which is interesting, right? I'm a fan of Louis Contreras. I'm not on the lead. He's, you know what I'm saying? I love him on a closer. You know, sometimes in the lead he can be a little bit uncomfortable. In the 3 and they just ding donged each other. Scoop, scoop, scoop. That's not Juan Hernandez on the 3. Yeah. It's Jan Hernandez.
I didn't say Juan Hernandez. I said Jan. And if Jann is
no. He was saying Scoop. Zach, he's telling Scoop, don't go after him. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Jan Hernandez is not Juan Hernandez for sure.
Yeah, no, Mike. There's always sexy about winning, my friend. You keep doing what you're doing. Exactly.
Mike, you never have to apologize for the way you bet.
No,
and screw anybody.
And you're winning. You're doing it great. You know,
screw anybody who tells you differently. It's like, yeah. I never believe in that. Everybody needs to bet how they want, and everybody else needs to let them alone and let people bet. It's like,
exactly.
Here's the thing. This game is called parimutuel for a reason.
Yep.
Because we're not betting against the tracks, we're betting against each other.
Right.
And if you don't have people making certain bets, then your bet is for naught.
Right.
So it's
exactly.
It's like, I've never understood people. It's like, I love a horse. You're stupid for liking that one. It's like, no, like that one a lot.
Is in the
Give them a lot
circle.
of money. Put a lot of money on that horse.
You're not
please.
seeing.
It's like, I just don't understand why some people like to belittle other people in the game. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Like Mike Whitten started out with 20s up 132. That's incredible.
Hell yeah. It's like, screw the haters, Mike.
You know, that's amazing, you know.
But Sean, we are 3 legs into our pick 5. Let's bring it home.
You are still alive. Put that on the screen for people just so they can see what you have.
That one wasn't as sexy, but we'll take it for sure.
No, it's okay. A win is a win.
We got the 4 and the 6 in the next leg.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll talk about that one because I think your 4 is the favorite, but I like the 6 a lot in here, and I'm hoping that I can get the 6.
Yeah.
And then in the last leg, we're going to be 2, 3, 7, be 3 deep. Hopefully, we're still alive.
Yeah, absolutely. The 7th race. Okay. All right, here we go. This is my bet of the night coming up here.
Hopefully it gels with what I've got there.
It does, Joe, with you exactly.
Two more legs, Sean. Let's bring it home.
Yep, let's bring it home. Yep. Oh, my horse is 3-2. Oops. Oops.
So that 2-5 exacta was paying 5-1.
Yeah.
So if you had gone a 2 with a 4-5, I mean, it's still not a huge profit, but it was definitely profitable with the horses that looked like they made the most sense. But
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Thank you again to everybody who's joined us tonight.
You know, it always amazes me. I'm talking about Mike's comment here. You know, it's like, but people make fun of this track. People make fun of Turfway. People talk a lot about how you can't win here, and then they actually make fun of us here at Trust the Profits. There are people out there on X that make fun of the fact that Sean and I and Carson and a few people have said that you can actually win at Turfway. Go back and look at the lounges that we've done, and so far we are up for sure.
Yeah,
and we're up pretty decently, and it's just like in just that night. But I think you can win here, and it's just it's definitely a different kind of racing, and I think a lot of the people that are saying these kinds of things, they're more horizontal bettors and like the big pick fives and say that you can't pick those, and those can be tough at Turfway at times because you do get some long shots home, but we don't necessarily approach the racetrack that way, and we play it a little bit differently. And I think you can be profitable. And it's like you can't play the same way at every track, and that's a lesson that I don't think everybody understands.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. Just reverting for a second here. By the way, I'd be remiss if we didn't at least talk about it. While I do think anytime you have the coach, D-Way Lucas, involved in Triple Crown, you have to respect the man for sure. Just quickly going back to the Colonial Derby last week, the Virginia Derby, very impressive performance by that horse. I will give, but Getaway Car, I just did not think was going to get the distance to begin with, and he faded. That group was Omaha. Omaha is a good horse, but you know what I'm saying. But I don't think he's a great horse. That field wasn't to me like the most stellar group, in terms of right. But you have to love Lucas's horse. I mean, Lucas's horse looked like he was in slow motion and beat the track record. So I mean, so so if that horse can figure out what he's doing, I'm just saying he could have something going, So
right.
So I was impressed with his horse, but I don't think he was facing the group that other people have been facing. So that race, I'm not going to throw the winner out as a throw out, but the race as a whole was kind of a throw out to me.
Yeah, I don't think that the race was a stellar race as far as competition goes, and you can't ever belittle the effort by a horse who sets a track record. But I will say this: I have to temper that a little bit. That horse is that track, is playing lightning fast.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
And it was dry as a bone. And if you know anything about Colonial, they're more towards their grass races and have some of the best grass races around outside Kentucky Downs. And I just don't think that track had a lot of water on it, and it was fast all day. It was extremely fast. So I'm not surprised by that, and that doesn't take anything away from the winner. But that just because of that one accomplishment and saying that this horse won the race and set a track record, that doesn't make the horse an immediate Derby favorite.
No,
and,
no,
by any means. And I think a lot of people are wanting to add credibility to what the horse did based on some of those things, but you've got to take some other things into account there, I think.
Sure, exactly. But at the same token, I wouldn't throw him out either. You understand?
No.
Yeah, if he moves up, then he could be good. But
Sean, one thing that I definitely notice about a lot of the Derby horses as we move into April here pretty soon and get to Keeneland right before we go to Churchill for the Derby, is that if you look at a lot of the Derby prep winners right now, and a lot of the horses that are towards the top of the favoritism board, every one of them, it seems like, is a need the speed type.
Yeah, right, exactly.
There are so many speed horses that are at the top of that list right now, and that's why I was saying that doesn't work necessarily in the Derby, especially when they're all speed horses. When you've got that many favorites that are all going to be on the lead, it just tells me there's going to be a contentious pace.
Yeah, yes.
I think the Derby always ends up with a couple of rabbits that are just out there dragging everybody else along, making them go way too fast.
Oh, exactly. I think it sets up for my boy Sovereignty very nicely.
And journalism. I like journalism.
And journalism both. Yeah, absolutely.
But and Burnham Square is another one that I think that could benefit from a really hot pace. It's Sandman, another one that could benefit from a really hot pace. And these are horses who people are like, well, they didn't even win their last time out. You're right, but that's not always the recipe to a Derby win either. It's like you're not necessarily coming in off a win.
No, absolutely, my friend. Yeah. So that race to me as a whole was kind of a toss, but a wonderful thing for Virginia to have a Derby, and the place was packed and good for them. That was a nice day. Regardless, Colonial was the winner.
Yeah, I will say this though, as far as nice days though, and no slight to the track, but we have to be real.
Oh no, absolutely no. I was just saying the turnout.
Yeah, no, that part was great.
I think it
goes more to my point, Sean, is that people turned out. You now have a Derby prep, and look, race secretary. You've got to put together a better card than what you did for that day.
Yeah. No doubt. So we have 16 minutes to go till Turfway Park. Race 7. 4 is at 9 to 5. Tim, who are your top 3 here, my friend?
Yeah, so I mean, if you remember, I've got the 4 and the 6 here in my pick 5 going forward, and the 4 is currently your 9 to 5 favorite, and that's why I had that one in here, because I knew this one was going to be the favorite, and it's going to be tough. But as I've said a couple of times tonight, and as I said early on in the broadcast, I think these races set up to where I don't see the favorites being that much better than everybody else to where I'm going to try to beat them. Now, look, the 4 in 5 races at Turfway is 5 for 5 in the exacta. 2 wins, 3 seconds, 5 for 5 in the exacta. At this particular distance of 6.5 furlongs, the horse also has 5 for 5 in the money, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So you can't leave the 4 completely off your ticket. But look, I absolutely friggin' love this 6 horse. And evidently a lot of other people do. So the horse was 8-1 in the morning line. It's come down a little bit to 5-1, but getting Gabe Saez up. When I go back and look, it's like this horse came out, and yes, I know if you're looking, hasn't run on the synthetic, has been off since October, and then before that was off since the summer. So this horse coming into the race looks like that she may need a race, but look at that last workout, Sean. 15th of March here on the synthetic. 47-2, 4 furlongs, third of 103 for the day. So this horse is putting together some really fast works. And if you look at the race profile, basically the thing that I like about it as well is it's not necessarily, that's not early speed. That's like closing speed. This horse to me Had
right.
a little bit of an early kick, but it's not so much a lead early kick. It's a stalk and then early kick.
Yeah.
So I just think it sets up well for how Turfway has been playing, especially in these races. I think that this is a horse that could potentially set just back and then come on and could win this race. But, my only concern is who is your speed in this race. So when I look at it, I think the 7 is going to want the lead. And I don't think that this is a horse that lasts. Definitely has the class, has run in a couple of stakes races here at Turfway before that optional claimer lasts out. So back to the optional claiming level, which is where the horse fits better. Does have a good bullet workout back in February, but has run since then and wasn't able to sustain in that race. And I think it's similar in this race. So that's my third pick is the 7. But I was actually 6 over the 4. I get the 4 being the favorite, but I'm going to go 6, 4, 7.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I was the opposite. I love the 4 here in the spot. Marmalade Sky. Irving's already got a win tonight. He's been looking very solid here, riding tonight. And I just like the fact that this horse, they had the confidence to bring him back to Oaklawn and still ran a darn good race. Ran a huge race, closing from the clouds, and was on for second. And ran a very nice race and allowance. I just think this horse is just in top form right now. David Jacobson's been really spotted his horse as well here. I just think this horse is the go horse. And you and I are very similar here. The 6 was my second pick here. Vincent Chaminade Delacour. Delacour, of course, trying to win the Oaks this Saturday with White Rocks with Victor Carrasco. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. This is owned by West Point Thoroughbreds. This horse has been facing some really good horses, and out of Mr. Speaker off the road should definitely have a chance here. Interestingly, there's a lot of speed in this race, and which could even set up for fantastical. With my third pick, Joe Sharp, Adam Bashiza, the Biscuit gets on. Has been running routes. Interesting, but even at 6 furlongs last year, Turfway with Tyler Connor just missed at 6 furlongs. So obviously, this horse is adaptable to the 1 turn as well, and I think that horse will be very tough here as well. So I think this is an interesting. I was 4, 6, and 5. Again, not inventing the wheel here, but I just think that's what it looks like. It looks like that could be.
I thought it was interesting.
Exactly.
I definitely think it's interesting, and it was just like I was just looking at the comments, and Todd was saying this, but I just looked up at Caitlin. Caitlin's picture on the screen now. She went 6, 4, 7, which is exactly what I picked, 6, 4, 7. So it's like Caitlin. She's Caitlin. Are you listening to my picks? Come on, Caitlin. Come on the air and admit that you're following my picks. You're trailing my picks. Because how many times has this happened lately, Sean? It's like Caitlin and I are on the exact same horses, and it's not like the top picks, but.
Yeah, exactly.
I consider that to be pretty good if I'm on the same picks Caitlin is, because she knows what the hell she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bob's top picks are 2, 6, 7. And the JG Funk's race 7 got 2, 5, 7 exact a box. Todd says it's not fun to lose. I agree. And
I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bud.
I was just gonna say I was looking at JG Funk's that when with the 2. I really wanted to like Current Climate because this is a horse I've been on before, and I really wanted to like this horse a lot more, but I couldn't make this one fit, and I I could definitely be wrong, and this might be the one where the horse finally wakes up. But I've been waiting for this horse to do better the last couple of times out, and I've been on the wrong side.
There you go. Okay.
But yeah, I totally agree with you, Sean. I mean, you heard me, and that's why I put both the 4 and the 6 on my pick 5 ticket, because I love the 6, but it's hard to bet against this 4. This 4 looks like it should be the winner, and you know, she wouldn't surprise me if she wins here in this spot. But there's something about the 6, and I know she's coming off a layoff, but the work on the track tells me that I just think that she might even be prepping, you know, and prepping with a win. She's not coming out here to lose. But and Delacourt, I mean, he's 4 for 11 on the win, and he's 6 for 11 in the money. It's just like he's really seeing this horse, the conditions of this track, and placing his horses in positions to win.
Oh, absolutely. No, that is
Todd, I get excited every week. Todd, you know I'm a school teacher, and I teach Air Force Junior ROTC as a retired Air Force guy, and I tell my kids I'm a 9 out of 10 every day, and I come in psyched up to teach and to do what I do, and it's like I can't do life any differently. It's like it's too short, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think what we're doing here, because that horse definitely showed some speed there, BG Warrior. But there is some speed in here. Yeah.
There is, and that's why I kind of like the 7 a little bit for an underneath finish, and is because I think the 7 is definitely going to be on the lead here, and can definitely hang on for a piece.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. And Rudy Brissett, I mean, come on, this guy's had a good year over the last year. He's had some really good horses in, so he's got a good barn and knows how to train horses.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that. You're a great dude, inspiring.
Well, thank you, Todd. That might be the only. Can we screenshot that and say
that's exactly.
That might be the only compliment Todd's ever given me.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Frame that. Exactly. Yeah. And say exactly. That is amazing.
Well, you're talking about me being old.
Yeah. So we got looking at everybody on the track, see how we look here.
Exactly. All yours, Sean. Bring home the money. We're still in great shape. I mean,
yeah.
We're definitely going home winners tonight. We're
are
still well over double in the bankroll.
Yeah.
223. 2 races to go. We're bringing home this pick 5, even though it's not an official lounge bet. Scott, I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. Let me see here for you. Scotty Carr, how are you, my man? Frank Payne, 7 has run with some great horses. Definite class drop here. Roses for Deborah, yep. Red Root. Yeah, run. Exactly. Yeah, it's running some real monsters here. All right. See what we get here. Trying to see what this bet would cost us.
You know, I like a horse a little bit too that nobody's talked about. I've been waiting for this horse to come up to kind of say that I kind of like that one too underneath a little bit. And you know, people talked about other horses 3. I see that, and that's why I was saying earlier that I think a lot of these races, are wide open I think Chris D'Souza has 251 here, but
Yeah.
and that's the one horse.
Yeah, hurry up, Hannah. Yeah.
Yeah, the one's kind of interesting here a little bit. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like the one as a top pick, but I think underneath, especially now sitting here at 10-1 off a 15-1 morning line, but Hurry Up Hannah is 1/3 off a layoff, which is an angle I really like. That the last 2 times out, I mean, you got to look. The first time out was in a stakes race at a mile.
Yeah.
And last time out goes a mile in an optional claimer. Now comes back in an optional claimer sprint. Hasn't run this distance, but is 2 for 5 winning at Turfway. So, I mean, 40% winning at Turfway. You can't complain about that. So the one I think it's sneaky underneath as well. So that's one to maybe consider on the bottom ends if you're playing some verticals, some tries, or some supers. Maybe think about the one as well. But
Yeah.
Sean, we got a bet?
Yes, we do. $2 exact of 4 all. Because I think the 4 is going to win, and I can't tell who's going to come in second.
I like it. We've had a couple of big hits with bets like this.
Yeah, yeah. I can't exactly yet.
Getting the price underneath.
And it's one of those things too, where like like if you do like a key and all that stuff, and you make like $4, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying?
So that's a $14 wager, and we got plenty of money to play with.
Yeah, money to spend. Yep. And we got Tom in the house. How are you, buddy? Thank you, sir. CB likes the 3. Here's a price. CB would love that for a second. Scott Carr, from one Air Force guy to another, retired. Thank you, both of you, for your service.
Absolutely.
Bobby D, exact a 5-7 with 4-2-6-3. Frank Payne, Caravel on the turf. You had no doubt. Exactly.
Yep, Scott, I don't know if you saw my Chief stuff back there and some of my pictures and my coins and some of the different things. How are we doing on the basketball game, Sean?
Huh?
I said, how are we doing on the basketball game?
I will tell you right now. I'm
trying to take a quick look here.
Up to the minute date for everybody here. Okay, I'll give it right now. Do you 1 second here? We have, let's see here. I'll give it to you right now. Give an update here. We have 7:21 to go in the second half. Arkansas 62, Kansas 61.
I knew that was going to be a great game. So Bill Self and John Calipari. Let's go.
Yeah. 13 Yale is hanging, but Texas A&M 53, Yale 42. Drake
leading Missouri. I have Drake. I picked Drake over Missouri. Drake is a team that a lot of people are overlooking.
We got Tennessee over Wofford. Tennessee beat Wofford.
Final.
Yep.
Gonzaga did beat Georgia.
Yep.
BYU got the win over VCU. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty formful for the most part. I mean, a couple of things that some people may not have had and others did, like McNeese over Clemson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
All right, Sean, we're headed to the gate. Let's get this. Let's get a 4-8. We want a 4-8.
Yeah, 4-8. I love that. Or 4-3 would be fine. Yeah.
All right, and Sean, I don't know if you saw, but the 8 is named Bella Cruella.
Yes.
My horse's name is Bella, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Let's get a 4-8 here. But I need a 4 or a 6 to keep alive for the last leg of the pick fight.
Yes. Let's get you home.
Loading up.
Mr. Moncada, let's win a couple of races tonight, sir.
So your 4 is your 2-1 favorite as we load in the gate. And away
Great
they
job.
go in my best Tony Callow voice.
Yeah,
So
Zach
pretty
is
even start. The horses from the outside are showing the early speed, trying to get down to the inside, and it's going to be the 7 to the early lead. The 4 is going to come up the rail into second position. The 8 is going to be 3 wide with the 6 in between horses, and the 5 right there as well. You can throw a blanket around the top 5. It's another 2 back to the 2 horse, and trailing the field is the 3 and the 1 in the very back of the field. They're going pretty fast up front. The quarter was in 22. BG Warrior, the 7, is currently in first. That's Independence Avenue, the 6 horse, currently sitting in second. Another length and a half back to Bella Cruella on the outside. That's the 8. The 4 horse Marmalade Sky is in fourth down on the rail. It's another length back to the 1 who has some serious momentum. The half 45-2, Sean.
45-2, they're flying. Come up that rail, Moncada.
BG Warrior has the early speed. Here comes Fantasy.
Oh, he's loaded with horse. Can he get through, though? Oh.
So, 7 BG Warrior.
I don't know where Moncada was going with my 4.
None of my horses are there. We're out of the pick 5. It's 5 and 7. Fantastic.
What was Moncada doing with that 4? That was
I have no idea.
That was a weird trip.
I'm at a total loss with what the hell happened in that race, but it shit like that happens, and it is what it is. But 5-7, the biscuit over Alex Bouchard. The 7 is definitely one that we saw finish in third. But Sean, where was the 7? It's just like I don't know. It's just that race did not come off the way it looked like on paper.
No, not at all. No.
The 5-7 is paying 12-1.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it was a 5-4 exacta that ended up being the lowest in the exacta. Somebody did hammer the 5 on top late, but they did think the 4 was going to be a part just like we did, and was not there anywhere. So 5 and 4. Boddick said he needed a 2 to 5 to stay alive. So
he's the unofficial winner. Second place 7 BG Warrior. Third place 1 Hurry Up Hannah. Fourth.
And then who else we got here? 5-7-1.
But you're going to bring us right back here in this last race and let us go out on a winning note.
Ooh, so Bobby D had the 5 and 7 on top, but he didn't have the 5 or the 7.
Ooh, nice.
I don't see a lot of 5-7. There we go. JG Funk 257.
Yeah, that horse, yeah. That just wasn't even his running style, though, the 4, and then just could not make up anything.
The biscuit for Joe Sharp.
The biscuit. Always have to respect the biscuit.
Going route to sprint.
Always have to respect the biscuit.
Ended up being 5-7-1. So that's 2-1 over 3-1 over 10-1. And that was the one I talked about late there, Hurry Up Hannah, that I thought could definitely finish underneath.
Yeah. Hurry Up Hannah used to be a very good horse and just fell off.
Yeah.
Used to be a really informed horse. Yeah, no, yeah, Tommy has, yeah.
Without a doubt, his barn has definitely been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But we got one more left.
Great job, JG Funk. Yeah, win is a win. Great job. Exactly. Yeah.
Still in good shape.
Oh, we're fine. Yep.
So Mike, I had 4 and 6, and
Yeah.
was way wrong with the 6. I really liked the 6 a lot in there. I was way wrong with that one. Showed like was going to start to come on, but didn't. And the 4 just ran a completely different race than I thought that was.
Yeah, I am totally in a different spot. Exactly. And he was even going out for the lead in the beginning. I'm like, what are you doing? But we are going to finish strong here. Turfway Park, race 8. You turn the page. We've had a great night tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. So appreciate it, as always. And do we have any scratches in this last race? We do not. So this is what you call a wide open affair.
Yeah, this is a good 11-horse race, and again, I think that the favorite is definitely beatable in here, or at least the morning line favorite, and the early betting is kind of showing that. So let's see what we can do here, Sean, to finish it off on what's already been a good night.
Yes. Not often do you see the 5-2 morning line shot at 21-1. I know that's early money, but I'm just saying
that's early money, and that's going to change.
That's when you wish you could just lock in right now, you know? I'll take 21.
I'm going to lock it in.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. So, yes. Okay.
All right. So Uncle Sully said if he gets a 2 or 3, he hits a pick 5.
Oh, go, Sully.
And the 2 is definitely a competitor.
Oh, yeah. Sassy Walker.
The 2 is actually one that I had on my ticket that I thought a lot of people would be singling. And I was a little bit against the 2, and it seems like the odds are kind of showing that here. But 7-1 is a good price for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As we get cold, it seems like the track is doing a little bit better, you know, on the front than it was before. But
so, Todd, hold that thought.
Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah. And Todd, that's definitely one of the horses I like there.
That's the fact that's who I put on top.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at this, if you look at this, I mean, I love the fact that the horse wins for 7,500, and Larry Smith, who's done very well, 13-25 in the money here at the meet, finds it to move him up back to the $15,000 level, you know, which is a confidence in a trainer that's doing well. The horse is 2 for 3 in the money at, and even that was a close 4th, you know, and improved greatly down the stretch, you know. So the 7 was what do you call it? Was my first pick. Exactly. And I like the fact that this horse is moving up. They got the trainers done well, got confidence. Jimenez takes the ride again, which I love to see. And I think this horse could be in for a big move here against this group. The second horse, and interesting, the odds. I thought I'd be getting a bomb here, but apparently the crowd is smarter than I was. Not alone there. The fact the 5, Smart with Heart. Really, if you throw out that last race with Variel close up, and he was way on the outside, he just weakened, but it was just not the best of trips. But you go back to his 30 non-winners of 2, and Sandra almost won at 54-1. So I think this horse with Walter Rodriguez, big step up in jockey. I think he could be very good. And my third pick was the 2, Sassy Walker, Ralph Martinez, Bendizu. Again, another one stepping up, a claim from Linda Rice. and route sees it two-step this horse up from 75 to 15 on the speed. So I was 7, 5, and 2.
Okay. A couple of interesting things there for sure. If you had, who was your fourth horse, Sean, just to get an idea?
Yeah, 7, 5, 2, 3.
All right. We're getting closer. So I also have the 7 on top. I absolutely love the 7 in this race.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is a horse who came to Turfway in December, had a couple of close races, then took a little bit of a layoff, changed barns and, you know, off the claim, and then won last time out, maiden claiming, dropping down at the 7,500 level, and now is coming back against winners for the first time. Non-winners at 2 life, but it's just like I think it still this horse fits here. When you got you know that when I'm looking at my non-winners at 2, it's like best maiden win. And it's not always level in who they beat. Sometimes it's recency. And in this case, it's recency and speed figures. And that's why I say that this horse had the best win. And I like the 7 a lot in here. I was trying to beat the 2, and I like the 2 in here, but I struggled whether I was going to put the 2 second or the 2 third, and I ended up putting the 2 third. And the horse that I put above that one was the 3 Red Wine Lady. And getting Irving Moncada back up for the second time, almost won last time out from way far back. And if you go back and watch that race, I'm not sure that this Klimt sired horse wanted to be that far back early on, and basically had to make a trip and almost did. And I think that Moncada's probably figured her out a little bit better, and I expect a better run this time, and this horse is going to be right there. So I did have the 2 and third. One that I was looking to see if you had any interest in, and why I was asking is my next horse is the 10, Serene Waters.
Oh, Serene Waters, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that horse is interesting to me.
Yeah, I think Barry here. This is a horse, Sean, that's 5-2 in the morning line. And if you look at the morning line, this horse was a favorite, and it's currently sitting on 14-1 on the board. So it's like, why is this horse so low coming off a claim in a race to where with Moncada up was right there competing and basically, yes, they're stepping the horse back up a little bit, and I get that, but that's the level this horse was running at and was still hitting the board and cashing checks. And here at Turfway. So has 3 third place finishes. So I don't like this horse on top. I don't think, and I didn't like the 5-2 morning line. But I didn't think I'd sit here and see this horse at 14-1 up a morning line favoritism.
No.
I think this horse definitely figures in the verticals, and you have to put this horse in exactas and tries.
I couldn't agree more.
1, if this horse stays that way in the exactas and tries with the biscuit up, I will take a whole bunch of that. So you look back at like the 17 January work at the training track. I mean that was a nice bullet, and I know that the horse has run since then, but showed some good speed in the middle of that race, just beaten late in that race. But this is one that I think is definitely going to factor underneath, and has done that on a regular basis. So 9 in 9 races has a win and three third place finishes. So I definitely want this one on my ticket underneath, especially if this horse goes off at a big price and is still holding at 13-1. I think you have to include the 10 underneath at 13-1.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
The connections.
Yeah. No doubt.
Smart with heart. I would put this horse next. I had this horse like 5th, and I don't understand the amount of money this horse is taking, and I don't disagree with your perspective on the horse and the things that you see, but it's like I just what is everybody seeing that makes this horse the 3-1 favorite in this race? I don't think over this field this horse deserves to be 3-1 favorite with some of the others that are in here because the races just haven't been there at least from my perspective.
I will say this is you've gone from Villarreal and Sanger to Walter Rodriguez, which I think is a definite big jockey change.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Ismail Bahena is 7 for 25 right now and absolutely on fire. So that could also be the the hot barn hot take. I'm just saying that everything he's throwing right now is hidden darts, and and if you do throw out the last race with Villarreal,
and was running against allowance, so you can line through.
Yeah, and against 30,000. It was flying with Sanger, you know what I'm saying? So at least there is something to like about this horse. I'm just saying, especially with the addition of Walter Rodriguez, and look at them, 10 starts together, the trainer and the jockey, and they're 50%. you can't. So I'm just saying.
I just think that the way this race shapes up, Sean, that this horse is going to leave too much to be done.
Sure, no. But I'm saying I can see where they're. Yeah,
I think the best she can do in this race is third. And here's the thing: it's like I just think it's really funny that you look at the last race, which was an allowance, which was a big step up for the horse. Looking at the previous, and the horse goes down to almost just under 10-1. In the previous race at a lower level, the horse is 54-1. And I know that obviously the performance in the race led to the being bet down in the next race, but I just don't get the odds. I mean, I see the things that everybody's saying and what you've said, but tell me why this horse is the favorite in this race based on the other horses that are here off a 10-1 morning line. I just don't.
Right. No, right. Absolutely.
And here's the thing. I just looked at the screen to look at the horses in the paddock to see if I can see the horse, and I see that Caitlin's picked the 5 on top.
Yeah, there you go. See?
So she's got 5, 6, 11, and 3. We didn't even talk about the 11 or the 6. So when I look all the way to the outside at the 11 horse, it does get Luan up. Is dropping down a little bit. Broke her maiden in a maiden special weight.
Yep.
Maiden special weight at Belle Terre to me is just still like, major maiden claimer at the bigger tracks. Then is an allowance class at those races, which still the same for me, which no factor in those races means no factor elsewhere. And then goes to Indianapolis at, Horseshoe at 20,000 claimer and doesn't do much there. So I don't see anything at all to like about the 11 horse other than Luan getting up. I'll have to take a wait and see approach there.
Yeah. Tom gives us an interesting thing on the 4. The 4 is raced and tapped it once and was wiped out at the start. The sire is 8 for 28 with sprinters on all weather. Wow, that's not bad. That is not a bad stat at all, Sissy's May. Kettle core. Bothered straight, no chance. 1 for 1 on the poly track. 20% Michael Evans is off the 12. Yeah, that's a fascinating angle there itself too.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at horses, and the race is so wide open. I'm like, who's standing?
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I love that the 5 is 3-1 because I won no part.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Interesting. 4-1, 5-1, 3-1, 5-1. Even the 10 at 8-1. 11 at 8-1. We're all over the board here.
Two looks amazing.
Yeah.
I was trying to beat the two when I was looking at the program. And remember, when you say you're trying to beat a horse, you see the win angle, but you just want to play against. But based on where the two is now at, I'm not sure I want to play against this horse.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Sitting at 9-2, and I think she looks good. So we're headed out to the track for the finale at Turfway Park.
The finale.
20th of March. 2 weeks from Keeneland.
Can't wait. And tomorrow will be what? 10? Yeah. 10 days until Keeneland.
And by the time we get to Keeneland, we're inside a month to the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
151st round.
By the way, just a quick update for people with 12 seconds to go in the second half. Arkansas 75, Kansas 72, coming down to the wire.
Love it. I've got Arkansas in the pool. I only did one online bracket, and I've got Arkansas.
Yeah, and the Yale Bulldogs hanging tight with Texas A&M, only down 11. Respectable showing there versus a tough team. And Drake winning 11 over Missouri right now, 39-28 in the second half.
Yeah, that one made all the sense in the world. Drake's a good team in Missouri the last few games. If you go back and look at their last 10 games, Missouri's definitely been on skid.
Right. And now, if Arkansas wins, we will have the matchup that everyone's been waiting for. Calipari versus Patino. The matchup once again.
Love it. Let's go, Patino. They're both former coaches for me, but I'm gonna go for Patino.
There you go. Absolutely. Thanks to everybody joining us tonight.
Sean, this is a decent looking field as I watched them all on the track.
Yeah, everyone's looking good. This is a problem.
There's a couple there that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something here. I think I'm still putting it together, but
yeah.
Groundhog checking in late. Groundhog, where you been tonight?
He was here earlier. Yeah. Oh, he needs 20 points for his parlay. There you go. Love it. Arkansas timeout. Nothing like March Madness.
Yep. 12 seconds left. Arkansas by 3.
Mike's bankroll up impressive 34.66 tonight. Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Hey, Groundhog, we always love having you, my friend.
Hopefully you followed along. We've done pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
D'Souza says, talk about the one. Sean, you got any thoughts on one?
Talk about the one, Chris. I will be happy to do so, good sir. Yes, the one here in this race, one is Susie Doozy. Eric Reed, yeah, Zach, coming in with Terraza. Yeah, and interesting. This horse got wiped out last. It broke sharp. It was empty in the stretch. Terraza is over 22 in this meet, and he's another one who had some wins last year. Has just not seen the track at all well, but does drop into a 15,000. The rail's not always my favorite place in the 6.5 furlong race, but and Terraza has been struggling, but the horse at least interesting had one bullet on December 14th, 1 out of 110, and then it was 2 out of 109. So obviously the horse can take to this track. I don't know what happened after that December 14th, though, because then he was 118th of 146. So, but he did have two nice bullets, and maybe with a drop down in class, he could definitely find the right sandbox here. But Taraz is over 22, and I don't like the confidence that I've seen in his rides. But hey, in this group, if you have the best horse, you can win. So he's not a you could be a lot worse. And 17 to 1 is a very good price for a run happy animal. Sister Kate. Flip the script. No problem, Chris. Thank you as always for joining us, my friend. Got 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of finalizing things here.
2 down to 92. 10 down to 6 to 1. Really like 7 6 to 1. Looks like the style has been winning tonight. Chris got $2 exacta box 3172. Good luck, Chris. Mal thought likes the 9 and a 910 box. Those horses look really small. Maybe it's the psychedelic. Tim is working on the 108 super high 5 play.
Nope. We are ready to go. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I think this 2 at 5 to 1 is really a good play. I like this horse on top, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this, and I'm gonna play a $2 trifecta key 2 with 3 5 7.
Yeah, love it. Okay, love it.
And the 7's one we didn't talk about a lot, and I went back and forth between the 7 and 10, and I ended up just putting the 7 in instead of the 10, and you know, there were a couple of reasons there, and that I left the 10 off the ticket, but the 10 to me, based on what I've seen from what the horse has shown about being on the lead and kind of fading late, it's like seems like it's a consistent pattern. So I think others have the tendency to the way the race projects probably to be able to close over this one. Speed hasn't been holding really well, so that's why I went against that one. So.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this home. 2 3 5 7.
2 3 5 7. Love it. And our bankroll's still well up on the night, which is great. And hopefully will only improve. Thank you again to everybody for joining us. And it's a final. Arkansas has indeed defeated Kansas 79 to 72.
SEC.
Could Bill Self be the most overrated college coach possibly in history? Kansas was the number 1 ranked team in the country coming into this year, and they are bounced in the first round. That is what you call a disappointing season for them.
Yes. Love it. Being a Kentucky fan, anytime Kansas lose, 2 of my favorite teams are Kentucky and whoever's playing Kansas.
Yeah, exactly. Rock Hawk, Jayhawk, goodbye. You have 0 minutes to post.
All right. We're all in a gate. That looked weird for the start.
That was a weird. Some of the horses in the middle looked like they had.
Yeah, it seemed really weird. The 3 got a really slow start, but on the outside, Lotta Lisa is going to take to the lead. Sassy Walker, the 2 horse, back about a length and a half. Just outside that one is Serene Waters in third. Down inside on the rail is the 1 horse. Outside that one, you've got the 8 currently sitting in 5th position. Then you've got the 6 horse, the 11 outside that one. It's quite a bit back to the 7. The 4 trails them all. The 10 is way back in the field as well. Or excuse me, the 3 horse, excuse me. Sassy Walker up front, quarter 23:01. And Sassy Walker on the lead. Coming from the outside, that's the 8 horse Rye Smile with the 10 Serene Waters starting to fade a little bit. But how about this 8 Rye Smile at 23:1? The half was in 46:1. Sassy Walker still got the lead. Outside that one is Rye Smile going to put a nose in front. Those 2 are ding-donging for the lead. The 8 at 23:1 down on the rail. Sassy Walker at 4:1. Sassy Walker is going to win it, but the 8 horse really close for second. The 7 is up for third, and it's going to be the 3 horse in fourth. So 2, 8, 7. And damn it, we were right there.
Here, right there. Sassy Walker, the money. So close. And the 2, the 2 won that. Yeah, exactly. And then the is that the 7 went 8 wide and still came in third.
Yeah.
Gizmo Hardy, how are you, my friend?
And the 8 at 23:1 finishes second.
Huh?
I said, and the 8 at 23:1 finishes second, and we got our 2 home on top at 4:1.
Yeah, and the 7 was
not
coming.
Like the 5 at all, who went off at 5-2, and I do think 2 got it. It was really close.
Yeah,
I still think it was the 2 down on the inside that got it, but it was right there. And also, by the way, folks, there is an inquiry
sign is up on the board. Stewards want to check out the start concerning the 4 Sissy's May.
Yeah, I don't know if the 4 got a real start there.
No, that's why I said when the gates opened, it looked like something happened, and I don't think one of the gates opened.
No, and the 3 was really behind too. Is that So something.
It looked like. Oh, look, he sits down. He did not get a start. It's almost like the starter didn't let go and he reared up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it wasn't the fact that the gate didn't open, the horse reared up, and maybe the starter didn't let go in time or scared the horse or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was definitely an issue with the start of the 4. And
for sure.
That impacted that horse for sure, but not a horse we had, not anything that should impact the race or the finish in order. But gosh, I hate that I left that 8 off. I've got that 8
nice
in my
handicap in there. Nice handicap.
And Gizmo's exactly right. That's a $200 exacta, and the try would be even bigger.
I know that would have been huge. Still a nice play though. Two, 8.
But it's crazy because it's like, take the 8 out. What do you have? Look at our play.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, right there. And if I had the 7 across there, I would not be. He took him so wide, and still got up for third.
Let me take our $12 off because we're going to lose that.
Groundhog, I like it. Whatever happened, the 8 caused it, and the stewards better bring it.
Take the 8 down.
Yeah, take the 8 down. There you go.
Take the 8 down. What, so we can get our try.
Oh, Bodek hit the exacta.
And it actually wouldn't be bad. I mean,
look at Bodek. Bodek hit the exacta. Nice job. And the try. Great job, Bodek. That's
very
awesome.
Nice. I like it.
That's going to pay really. You're exactly. You're going to not worry about your horse there. Alexander Bendenzu. Bendezu. I'm not familiar with Alexander Bendezu.
No, but I mean that's why I say I couldn't turn that 2 down on top at 4-1 because
No. Look fantastic. Yeah.
I was trying to beat the horse. The horse made sense to me. It was a horse that I had on top that I was going to try to beat it based on the fact that I thought in a race that I thought was fairly even.
Yeah.
That horse didn't deserve to be that much of a favorite. But when I saw 4-1, I'm like, I can't turn it down. And then we missed the 8, but other than that, we've got the 3 horses behind that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And the double was right there with you, you know?
Yep.
So
just missed. Yeah, Gizmo. I think the 8 was up just before the line, and it was seriously a head bob situation, and I really thought that the 2 got the bob, even live. It was close, and the 8 was ahead, but right at the line, it looked like that they changed heads.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
But that's why from the beginning I called the 2 over the 8 because it clearly looked like the 2 got the bob. But yeah, look at that start. The 4 is up on hind legs, and yeah, that was a horrible start. They might even declare the 4 a non-starter.
Yeah, they might do that. Yeah,
because something definitely happened in the gate. But this Saturday, the Jeff Ruby Stakes.
Yes, big time.
If you haven't looked at that race, so just really quickly, I think somebody said this earlier, said talk about the Jeff Ruby, and we didn't. So just to call out a couple of things. I mean, you've got the John Battaglia winner in here. You know, you have California Burrito, and that's a horse with the connections, and Irving Moncada getting up. It's a horse you have to consider. I think it's interesting that that Luan is getting up on a Brad Cox horse here, who's coming out of a decent maiden win race, who is Final Gambit is going to be a decent price. That's one I would keep an eye on. And just one more to throw out there, who is a horse that I have definitely been following the whole year. The horse that was third in the Sam Davis, and that's Poster. Poster is currently the 3-1 morning line favorite. And here's the thing, Johnny V is coming to Turfway.
Yeah,
I mean, you got some pretty big names coming in, and Johnny V is not coming into Turfway for the ice cream, Sean.
Yeah, no.
So I definitely think that the connections of this horse are trying to get this horse into the Kentucky Derby, and Johnny V says that this is his mount. I don't think that any of the other major ones he's been on so far. So he's looking for his mount. So he's bringing his tack up to Turfway for the day. And I think that's significant. You can't count on Johnny V in a race like this. And it's really interesting, though, that he's named on Poster. And then you look at the outside, Candytown is also eligible in there, and he's also named on that horse. Yeah. So that's a little bit weird, but I think he rides Poster in the race, and that's a horse that I like. But California Burrito and Poster, and as a little bit of a price, I like Final Gambit a little bit in there. And with everybody else and all the other things, don't count out the local guy, Luan Machado, when he gets up for Brad Cox on a horse race like this. So that's one that I would include as well. I also think it's interesting. You've got Maximum Promise coming back, who finished third.
That's the horse I really love. Watch that last race. He was really closing, and at that time, no one could close any ground. And he still closed a solid third. Frankie Dettori now takes over. And I think Kenny McPeak's going to have this horse really ready to go. I think that race is almost a workout race, and he ran really solid to finish third. He was really closing on the top two leaders.
Yeah, definitely was. And I think it's interesting, Frankie Dettori coming to Turfway. Come on, people.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he's definitely coming to ride this horse. That's the whole reason he's coming up there. And Kenny McPeak. So you can't count out the connections there. But those are 4 that kind of stand out to me. But I really like California Burrito.
Yeah, exactly. That would be interesting. We're still unofficial. This is amazing.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out what to do with the 4.
Exactly. It's like, what are we
They've still
doing
got the
here?
hurry up.
They figured we only have 8 races. Keep the people in tune. Yep, yep, non-starter. And I think that was the right decision.
It was. That's exactly what I said. Is I think that she
Yeah.
would be a non-starter.
Yeah,
That's the right call for sure.
Yeah. So.
All right. So look, we start out with a bankroll of $100. We go 7 races into the card, and we almost doubled, just finishing just shy of that, 197.06. We were really close, even in the races we didn't win. We had some good insight on some horses, and hopefully some others cashed, and were smarter than we were in those races. But not a bad night, Sean. What do you think?
It was a fabulous night. Fabulous night. Great conversation in the chat. Thank you to all you all-stars out there for a fabulous night as always. We love being with you. Very excited. You have a great weekend. Big Triple Crown implications on the line this week. Enjoy the races. 2 weeks till the opening of Keeneland. Very excited. And so it should be off. Exactly. Tom's heading off to Oakland. Have a great time. Bob Jackson, Bobby, Tom, Mikey Witten, even though you never got your apology, Groundhog, Stephanie, Bodick, everybody, Todd, everybody who joined us tonight, JG Funk, everybody, Scotty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Kyle, hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next week for another winning episode.